Great way to start off that. I mean, why not give up a 20-plus yard play on the first play of the game? Hey, 1st and 10 here.
Foreman makes a cut back into a clogged middle and falls for about 4 yards.
I get myself prepared here.
Makes the stop.
Not much to really say about a game like this other than handle your business, I guess.
Yeah, this is a guy who has a ton of production on his resume going back to college, and he's someone who really we enjoy talking to. He has a great outlook on this, learned a lot from Bill Belichick. Talked to us about how Bill would bring him in and really just break down his practice tape and his game tape, and he wouldn't say a word. He'd just sit there and write down everything that he said. Really gave me
2nd and 7 here. Alright. Let's see, gonna hand it off here. Should be able to make a stop. 3rd down.
Yeah, I mean, you see now this Baltimore Ravens defense, now that you've got a 3rd down situation here, third and short. I mean, Zach Orr, the defensive coordinator here, he's kind of got this defense where he wants it now. These guys are really proficient at playing both man and zone coverage.
3rd and 4, should be able to make a stop, but who knows, you know. It's only Bailey Zappi playing. You would assume you could make a stop, but it's also the Ravens to come out here and make mistakes early on. 3rd and 4, pressure's coming. Defense makes a stop. Roquan Smith makes the tackle. And it's 4th down. Honestly, if you're the Browns, you might as well go for it. What's going on, everybody? Just doing my early setups here.
You're going to see Roquan Smith in the middle of your screen. He's just firing downhill right out of the gate. When you talk about getting TFLs, tackle for loss, and just blowing up running schemes, Roquan Smith is one of the very best at doing it.
Oh, they're going to punt it.
Doing it ever since the Baltimore Ravens have come into existence at the linebacker position.
Of course, Pro Bowl for Smith all 3 years here in Baltimore. Top tackler in the team. Corey Porkis.
There's the punt. And it'll be a touchback. So 1st and 10 here. 1st and 10 here for the Ravens offense. Oh my God, I'm so sick of this MVP talking. We just put this to bed. What's going on, everybody? How's your day going? It's been fine. It's cold. It's very cold. It actually snowed yesterday, and it's supposed to snow again this week. I think it's supposed to snow multiple times this week. So since it's supposed to snow multiple times this week, we all gotta be prepared. Baltimore wins this game. They're playing at home at the bank, and since it's supposed to and because it's supposed to snow throughout the week, like multiple times. I think it says it's gonna snow on Monday, might snow again on Thursday. I think it also said on Saturday it might be a situation. So Baltimore's got to be prepared for the cold weather, and they've got to be prepared for a potential icy playoff game if they were to handle business today and win the division. If not, you go to Houston. You're not worried about that.
You're going to like this story because it's about you. When does it start? With a flight time that works.
Yeah, it's supposed to snow Monday.
Where does this story take
It'll have some cold throughout the week. Saturday's where a storm could... What are you doing? I was literally just fixed, and now it's just acting up for no reason. But, yeah, snow is expected to happen on Saturday. Oh, my condolences, John. My condolences to you. My condolences. Really, really unfortunate that happened. Rest in peace to that individual. But yeah, my condolences to you guys.
Introducing guest favorites, the most loved homes on Airbnb.
Talking about Lamar Jackson's improvement, if that's possible. What an historic milestone season it is for him. This passer rating, 121.6, as it stands, will be the 2nd highest.
All right, here we go. First offensive drive here for the Ravens. Also, everyone's going to keep track of Lamar Jackson and his performance today. He has a chance to break Aaron Rodgers' single-season passing record all time. So, you know, we'll see how Lamar performs today and how this offense performs today. Again, I have expectations that the Ravens should be able to handle business against the Browns team that's just ready for the season to end. You know, you win today, you win the division, handle business. Let's not really mess around here. first and 10 for the Ravens at their own 20. Lamar hands it off to Derrick Henry. And there goes Myles Garrett right off the bat to drop Derrick Henry. Second and long coming up here for the Ravens. What do you think of Eagles resting Barkley? On one hand, I understand why you rest Saquon Barkley. They've got bigger goals and bigger aspirations. They're trying to win a Super Bowl. So the focus is that. You've already clinched the division. You're already locked into the 2 seed. You're not playing for anything. There's no reason putting out your starters out there, and then also there's no reason putting your starters out there, having them play in a meaningless game, and then the worst situation happens. Because if Saquon gets hurt, they're cooked. 2nd and 14. Lamar just gonna escape. He's got all the space in the world. Juking defenders, picking up about 11. So Lamar takes off, picks up maybe 11 yards. 3rd down and short coming up here. But, yeah, there's no point in putting Saquon and your starters at risk. You've already locked into your playoff spot. You're playing for virtually nothing. No reason to actually put him out there. So I understand that. But on the other hand, man, this is also history. That record's been holding up for 40 years. Lamar's going to keep it on 3rd down, and he's just going to take off. Lamar utilizing the wheels early on in this game. But yeah, Saquon has a chance to chase history. He has a chance to break a record that's been there for for over 40 years. This is a record that's been here for so long, and he has a legitimate chance to break it. Why wouldn't we want to see that historical moment? That's just, so I understand where the Eagles are coming from. I, as a fan, am a little bit hurt that Saquon's not going to get a chance. You could tell Saquon himself is hurt because he wanted a shot to be able to do it. But again, like he said, he's here to accept whatever the defense is going to give him. Lamar looking for Andrews down the field and just misses him. Incomplete. 2nd down coming up here for the Ravens. But, yeah. You could tell Saquon himself was hurt. Yeah, Lamar just missed him there. You could tell Saquon was hurt. Saquon was hurt at not being able to chase that record, which it's unfortunate. He definitely wanted it, but like he says, whatever the team is willing to decide is whatever the team is willing to decide. If the team is willing to let him play, he'll play. If the team is willing to rest the starters, he'll go with it. So it's unfortunate. 2nd down and 10 here, empty backfield for Lamar. He's going to take the snap. Lamar again utilizing the wheels. Lamar is using his legs early on in this game. So, yeah, Saquon was definitely hurt at not being able to have the opportunity to go out there and break the record, but he's fine with, he's at least tolerable and accepting of whatever the coach wanted to do. So as a fan, I'm hurt because I wanted to see Saquon potentially break that record. That would have been amazing to see, but I understand where the team's coming from. Your focus is a Lombardi trophy, and you cannot risk Saquon Barkley getting injured in a meaningless regular season game when you've got Super Bowl aspirations here. 3rd and 4, across the middle, and Zay drops it. Oh, love when the Ravens just come out in a game where you gotta win. They're just dropping passes. Lamar misses Andrews down the middle. Zay has the ball right in his hands and miss it, and it's going to be one of those type of days. Ravens are going to come out sluggish for absolutely no reason and make this a game for no reason, and everybody's going to be like, okay, Baltimore, so you're just going to come out here in a meaningless game and just play like this. And they're going to punt early on. It's a 4th and 4, and they're going to punt. Like I said, I expect the Ravens to win no matter what. It's just about the Ravens blowing them out versus coming out sluggish and making this a game, which it seems like they've come out sluggish and they're going to make this more of a game than it needs to be. Lamar missing Andrews down the field. Zay Flowers dropping a pass that was right in his hands. It's going to be one of those days, and let's just lock in. So, it is what it is. I'm not really tripping over it. It's going to be one of those type of games, and we all know it. This is the playoffs, Ravens. It's the same thing. Ravens coming out sluggish. Lamar missing guys early on because they're just not right in the connection. Receivers dropping passes early on for no reason. It's like the Ravens just like to make things difficult for themselves. I don't know why the Ravens play this way. Again, this is why no matter how much I could talk about, which I will have to make a video about it come playoff time, no matter how much I could talk about the formula that is there for the Ravens to win, I can't trust this coaching staff because their decision-making as a football team, you got to question the IQ of this football team, bro. You really got to question the IQ of this football team. Did you notice how they just did not utilize Derrick Henry? And the one carry they gave Derrick Henry, guess what it was? He's right next to Lamar and just gets the handoff from the shotgun. Why are you not lining up under center and giving the ball to Derrick Henry? Why are you not utilizing the play-action passing game there? Why are we just drop back passing early on in this game and just utilizing the read option with Lamar and Keaton Mitchell? You could hope that they won't do that in a playoff game, but the Ravens have not given me enough evidence, have not shown me enough to make me think they wouldn't do this in a playoff game. They're the ones that keep talking about we're going to take this fully serious and come out like this is a playoff game, and then you showcase this to us. What are we supposed to do with this? Like, come on, man. Countdown to the greatest Sunday Night Football of all time. I don't know if you could actually... Arguably, I don't think... When's the last time we've had a Sunday Night Football game to end the season between two divisional teams that will determine who gets the 1 seed and who's going to be a wild card team? That might be it. I cannot wait to see the Lions and the Vikings go at it. It's kind of funny to think these Ravens are kind of Browns players. Yeah, we've had that discussion a million times. Pro Bowl receiver. Yeah, like I said, once you get a title, anytime you play well, that's why he's a Pro Bowl. Anytime you drop a pass or make a mistake, hey, that's a Pro Bowl receiver, all right. We get the whole 9 yards with it, okay? We get the whole 9 yards. The Ravens do this all the time. Steelers versus Ravens on Christmas. I wouldn't say that's the greatest Sunday Night Football game of all time. Or is there an aspect that you're specifically talking about when it comes to Steelers Ravens on Christmas in terms of? Oh wait, no, but that was different. Okay, you're talking about 2016. I'm sorry, you're talking about 2016. That was to determine the division, but it wasn't the final game of the season. We still have to go play Cincinnati. That's one, but that wasn't to determine the division. That certainly wasn't determining who was going to get the 1 seed in the conference. The Vikings and the Lions are fighting for the divisional crown, but they're also fighting to see who's going to get the 1 seed. I don't think we've ever had a situation where that's been the case. They're going to run it on first down. Roquan Smith going to make a stop. 2-yard pickup, second down coming up for the Browns. So nah, Steelers Ravens on Christmas is definitely one of those games we've gotten a primetime game to determine the division. But that, again, wasn't a game that was the final game of the season that determined who was getting the 1 seed and who was going to win the division. Another aspect I remember, I don't think it wasn't for the 1 seed. Was it for the 1 seed? No, I don't think it was for the 1 seed. But I remember Seahawks Niners in 2019. That was the aspects. That was the aspect that I remember last time we've had a season and on a matchup that would determine the division. 2nd and 7. Oh, a pick! Nate Wiggins with the pick six! Nate Wiggins with the pick six! Nate Wiggins with the pick six! And Baltimore scores first. Nate Wiggins finally, he didn't drop this one. Nate Wiggins got a pick six. Like I said, I'm not worried. Baltimore's going to win this game no matter how you think about it. We know the Ravens are going to win this game. It's just, are they going to struggle early on or are they going to get it done? Baltimore's going to win this game. We don't have to worry about the aspect of what or not. How you living? I'm doing good, man. I'm living well. Living well. It's cold. So that's kind of why I'm wearing the jacket right now. It's cold. But I'm living well. Nate Wiggins got his first career pick, and it was a pick six. Shout out to the rookie. He had a few opportunities throughout the season to get a pick, and he just dropped them. This time, he did not blink and took it to the house. Justin Tucker with the extra point.
Come in and play your first game in a year against this defense. Dan, how was your
Kick is up, and it is good, and the Ravens take an early 7-0 lead thanks to their defense. Now, I'm going to be honest, guys. I'm saving up my energy because I feel like I have to. I'm saving my energy for the Steelers-Bengals game just because I'm going to be completely unbiased. I don't care who wins. Baltimore wins this game. I don't care who wins. We win the division. Pittsburgh can win, and they could keep the 5th seed. Cincinnati can win and keep their playoff hopes alive. I honestly couldn't care who wins the game. So I'm trying to prepare myself because I believe I'm going to win that game. And this is a game where we shouldn't lose. I'm going to be honest. This is not a game we should lose. You know what's at stake. You're heading to the playoffs. There is no reason to lose this type of game in this scenario. If you do, then that's going to be an indictment for how things are going to go heading into the playoffs. Baltimore knows what's at stake. You got to win to get the division. So I don't have any concerns. So I'm not specifically going to be going crazy in this live stream for the most part. Lions, Vikings, winner gets the number 1 seed, NFC North title, home field advantage. Loser has to travel as the 5th seed. Yep. That is the case. I don't think we've had a scenario like that in recent history where that is 2 teams within the same division are fighting for the 1 seed and they get to finish off the season. Winner gets the 1 seed and the division. Loser becomes a 5th seed. That's going to be so painful. Can you imagine being Detroit all season long, leading as the number 1 seed, and then because you lose 1 game, not only do you lose the division, but you go from the 1 seed to the 5th seed, meaning most likely you're going to have to travel for multiple playoff games instead of hosting in Detroit, which is what you want to do. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. Detroit last year won 2 playoff games at home. They feel if they can host the postseason, have the postseason come through Detroit, they can beat anybody. But if all of a sudden things change from them hosting in Detroit to now having to go to Tampa Bay for the first round, because they're the 4th seed. I mean, they're the 5th seed. Tampa Bay is the 4th seed, or the winner of the NFC South will be the 4th seed. Can you imagine having to go from hosting in Detroit to having to go to Tampa Bay in a wild card round? That would be disgusting. Not to mention, Detroit, to go from hosting the playoffs in Detroit, having the playoffs come through your house and getting a first round bye, to having to travel to Tampa Bay, that's nonsense. That is nonsense, and I promise you the Lions aren't looking to do that. But the Vikings have been right next to them all year, and Minnesota would love the opportunity to get a first round bye and have home field advantage throughout the entire postseason, because they've played extremely well at home this year. So that one's going to be a grudge match. Is a Lions-Vikings NFC Championship possible? Yeah. You just need an upset. So you need the Commanders or the Commanders or Packers need to pull off an upset. So the Commanders, let's say the Lions win the division and they get the number 1 seed, Vikings get the 5th seed. Vikings can beat the 4th seed. They'll need the Commanders or the Packers to win. If the Commanders win in the wild card round or the Packers win in the wild card round, they will head to Detroit for the divisional round. So that could set up a Lions-Vikings NFC Championship game is absolutely possible because they're the 5th seed. They're the 5th seed. They're not the 7th seed. They'll be the 5th seed. So they'll need Green Bay to go to LA, or they'll need the Commanders, who are actually the Commanders are 6th seed, right? So the Commanders go to LA, or you look at the the Packers going to Philadelphia and pulling off the upset. So like Lions-Vikings can absolutely happen, but the Commanders or the Packers need to win a playoff game in order for us to set up for a second round matchup between the number 1 seed and the Packers, or the number 1 seed and the Commanders, and then we can have an NFC title game where the Vikings and the Lions can meet up. So that's what you need. 1st and 10. Good run here by... Good run here. Pick up about how much? 8? Yeah, 8. 2nd down coming up here. Good pickup for 8. I think Green Bay is a better team. I trust the Packers to beat the Rams. They already beat them in the regular season. I've been very adamant when I've said this. The Packers can beat anybody except the 2 teams in their division. I think they can beat the Commanders, which I hope they don't. I think they can beat the Rams. I think they can beat the Eagles. I do not see them beating the Vikings or the Lions in the playoff game. I don't trust that defense to pull that off. 2nd and 2. Here comes another handoff. He's going to be stopped a yard short, maybe half a yard short. 3rd down coming up here for the Browns. It's probably something you don't want to hear at the moment, but sorry about the heat. Not really concerned. Like I said, you had a window. You should have got out and got pieces. You didn't put enough to bring stars here. And you deal with what you deal with. At the end of the day, the focus is move off of Jimmy, bring in some young pieces, and still try to be competitive. You still got Bam and Tyler Hero that are young, so just go from there. This is a young core. You'll just go back to what you were pre-Jimmy, but just make sure you make smart plays to get guys that can help Bam and Hero. 3rd and 1 here. They're going to run it again, and the Ravens defense stops them. Nothing. In fact, he might have lost a yard. Good job by the defense. If we win Hardball Bowl Part 3, not exactly, Darth. You see, if the Steelers lose and the Chargers win, Pittsburgh comes to Baltimore because they'll be the 6th seed. But if the Steelers win, then yeah. If the Steelers win, they're the 5th seed. If the Steelers lose, they potentially become the 6th seed. So 4th down here, you are the Browns and you're 3 and 13. Why not go for it? I'm being dead serious. You're 3-13 is the final game of the season. You might as well go for it. Good time for some play action if you are the Browns. Play action. And incomplete. Marlon Humphrey knocks it out of the hands of Jerry Jeudy. And the Ravens defense makes a stop. Turnover on downs. Baltimore's offense is going to come on the field. Marlon Humphrey making a great play. Heat are the Cowboys of the NBA. They did nothing in the offseason to help their star player. Can't really say that the Cowboys of the NBA. We got the 2 NBA finals. It's not like we're doing nothing in the offseason to help our players, and then at the same time, we're just, getting out in the second round. I'd probably... Who would be a better choice? Cincinnati? But no, they brought in defensive players, but they let a lot of guys walk. Really trying to figure out who I'd want to put in that scenario. Anyway, 1st and 10 here for the Ravens at the Browns' 40-yard line here. Hand the ball off to Derrick Henry. And this time they will. Derrick Henry picking up about 2 yards. Second down coming up here for the Ravens.
And over on the sideline, he spent a lot of time in front of the heaters, putting his hands there. And in fact, John Harbaugh even came over and just gently shoved him and some other receivers a little closer to those heaters. It's about 29 degrees, but with the wind chill, feels like 15.
Yeah, guys, you're gonna have to deal with the cold. It's unfortunate, but if you win, you're hosting the playoff game here. And there's a chance that it's gonna be even colder and the weather could be worse on the wild card game. So, y'all gonna have to get adjusted to the cold. 2nd and 8. Lamar takes the snap. Lamar, pressure's coming, he fires. It's caught by Likely. Likely picks up the first down, gets inside the 20. So, hey. At the end of the day, shake it off. Shake it off. Get yourself warmed up. If you got to do some route running, you got to stand next to the heater. Whatever you've got to do. Whatever you got to do. At the end of the day, guys got to get themselves warmed up and try to stay warm as much as possible. Because at the end of the day, you win today, you're hosting a wild card game in Baltimore next week. And the weather's going to be cold, just as cold, if not colder next week. And it may be even muddier because it may even be worse. We're expecting some snow throughout the week. So, yeah, I know it could be cold. It is what it is. Lamar taking off, utilizing his legs. Tried to run a little bit of some play fake, kind of rolled him to the right. Nothing was open. The defender was right there with him. So the Browns defense read it right, and he just kind of had to take off.
They've tried to categorize a lot of their concepts, and one of the things last year was to give them ownership at the line of scrimmage. You saw it on that previous play, and
29 degrees with 25-mile-per-hour wind. Those fans are suffering. Oh, trust me, it's going to be just as bad. Just as bad next week when the wild card game happens. 2nd down and 3. You better hand this to D-Hen. They're going to hand it off to Henry. Henry. He's going to lean forward. He might be short. Good tackle there. 3rd down here. I'm going to do the same thing. Line right back up and give the ball to Derrick Henry.
380 pounds coming around the corner. Look, between Ricard and Falele, that is not what you want to see coming downhill.
Maybe the Colts, Raiders, or Patriots. But again, it's hard to try to make those comparisons because, again, we've had success and have gotten to the finals twice. They're going to sneak it with Andrews, and Andrews is going to pick up the first down. They're saying short, but it looked like he got it.
Didn't quite get the push he needed.
this is a no-brainer. Go for it.
You can just read the lips there. He's on the same page as you, Dan.
Yeah, this is easy. This offensive line is really taking control.
I'm surprised. What's going on, Simple? I'm surprised. I thought he had gotten enough push. Did he? Maybe the angle I saw was probably still short. 4th and 1 here. Baltimore obviously going to go for it because why not? This is an opportunity for the offensive line to prove themselves. Is that Voorhees?
And then they got this guy number 8. Yeah, this quarterback who all of a sudden can just pull the ball and at any moment he's out there making you look foolish. Like
Is Voorhees out there? What the?
In his backyard.
When the?
That's a cheat code. That's not fair.
That's what opponents have been saying since he came in the league. In college and high school too, by the way. Operation wasn't too crisp there, so they'll spend a timeout before this 4th down play.
I think that's the different part of this offense in comparison to years past, certainly last year, is there's more pieces, there's more diversity. You know, the growth of Zay Flowers, the growth of Rashad Bateman.
It's a challenge for Todd Monken, isn't it, in year two?
Because you don't want to get too cute, which I would say they have at times, and you don't want to be too predictable. So when Patrick Ricard and Mark Andrews are on the field, look,
Are the Commanders resting their starters? No.
you also don't want to become predictable.
They have a chance to get the 6th seed and potentially go to LA instead of having to be the 7th seed and going to Philadelphia. They're not resting their starters. When they technically still have something to play for. The only time you rest your starters is if you have nothing to play for. If you can't improve your playoff seeding, you don't do it. So no, they're not going to rest their starters. Dan Quinn said it himself. Lamar's going to keep it himself. Lamar. Oh my goodness. They tried to get cute with it. Lamar tried to get cute. Flipped it up with Derrick. I don't understand why we want to get cute here. This is Baltimore just playing around for no reason. What is this? He tries to flip it up to Derrick Henry, and it's just no good. What are they doing, dog? Baltimore's offense is out here trolling in the first quarter. Just straight up trolling. Yeah, good for JD. Shows he's a boss. They're just trolling. But no, Commanders not resting their starters. Dan Quinn even said it. They want to be able to get a higher playoff seed in the possibility of them potentially hosting a playoff game here. Because best case scenario is they win they get the 6th seed, they win that first round matchup against the Rams, and then after that, they'll go to Philadelphia. No, not Philadelphia. They'll go to Detroit as the number 1 seed, pull off the upset. Even still, the scenario would have to be both Green Bay and the Commanders would have to win 2 playoff games to match up. So I guess this scenario that Dan Quinn's thinking of, which is why they're trying to get the 6th seed to potentially host a home playoff game, would have to be it would literally have to be Commanders win they get the 6th seed, Packers get the 7th seed, Commanders win the first round matchup against the Rams, Packers win the first round matchup against the Eagles, second round matchup, Packers take on the Lions, Commanders take on the Vikings or the Bucks if the upset happens, and then the NFC title game would be in Washington, where it would be Packers and Commanders. So that's the scenario they're trying to run. But you never know how things are going to happen in the postseason, which is why they're going to take that chance to potentially go out there and get the go out there and try to get the the 6th seed. How happy are you that both teams in DMV are going to the playoffs? I'm happy. I haven't been this happy since 2012 to have both teams in the playoffs. My scenario's still there potentially of the Ravens and Commanders meeting up in the Super Bowl one day.
And as Lamar gets out there, he kind of gets stuck in that moment of, am I going to be the runner or trying to dump it off to Derrick Henry? It's a little bit similar to the play that we saw the Vikings seal their game against the Packers.
That is such a weird play design thing to do there. But hey, I mean, it took a chance. Baltimore's offense is trolling right now in this first quarter. Lamar was trying some Mahomes. Yeah, Mahomes has done some nonsense like that, but Lamar ain't got Mahomes' luck, man. Sometimes you got to have that type of luck to just pull that off. Hey, look, DTR's in the game. 1st and 10. Handing the ball. Oh, a fake handoff to DTR, and he's going to get dropped after picking up a yard, maybe 2. Second out coming up here for the Browns. I hope that doesn't cost us in the long run. Lamar trying to act like Mahomes in terms of playing. Well, I hope what doesn't cost us in the long run. What specifically that you don't hope cost us in the long run?
Who was responding the best would determine who was going to play the majority of the game.
Thompson Robinson, a calf injury, limited practice.
He's going to fake the handoff again, and this time Kyle Hamilton's going to just race and drop him there. Here we go. Hold on for a second. All right, we back. Had to deal with a couple things. Let's pray Jaden can stay healthy and doesn't become. We don't have to say this every single time, bro. Let's just stop. Let's stop thinking of the negatives and always focus on the positive. Because I'm tired. Every time we get this a young mobile quarterback, oh man, let's hope they don't get 100. Like, let's just not. Let's just not, okay? Let's just not. Let's not think about that. Let's not talk about it. Let's not bring it up. Let's just hope he stays healthy. Period. That's it. Let's just hope he stays, period. Let's just hope he stays healthy, period. Let's just hope he stays healthy, period. 3rd and 14, so I missed literally nothing. So the stop was there on 2nd down, and then we went to the first quarter ended. Just a quick toss, 2 guys there. Akins knows he's not doing anything. They're going to have to punt the football again.
This Ravens defense just continues to trend in the right direction. The moves that they've made, we talked about it as far as moving Kyle Hamilton back to safety.
Defense is doing their job early on. Offense just wants to come out here and troll because they know they're going to win this game. What is the offense doing? This play calling for the offense is just wow. They know this defense is going to lock down the offense. Cleveland's offense can't do squat diddly do. Calvin Noy had a sack. Oh, he had the sack on 2nd down. Shout out to Kyle Van Noy. I think that gives him this incentive because I think he needed a half sack to get an incentive. So if he got a sack in this game when I was gone, shout out to him. He got an incentive. A 29-yard punt. DTR is garbage. I know Zappy is bad, but DTR is the worst quarterback in the NFL. Hard to argue that. But then again, you have to look at all these backup and 3rd-string quarterbacks and try to make an argument for who's the worst. Maybe DTR is the worst. I've already said DTR is not an NFL quarterback. Maybe he develops at some point down the line to become a decent backup or something, but he's not an NFL quarterback. He's not. Bailey Zappi's at least shown he can be an NFL quarterback. He's not starter material, but he can be an NFL quarterback. Here we go, 1st and 10, Ravens offense. You want to stop trolling for 2 seconds, please? Here we go, play action. Lamar. Oh! Bateman took a shot. And he's hurt. This is where my concerns come in. This is where my concerns come in. This is where my concerns come in. I don't bring it up. I don't talk about it. But this is one of the things that's been vital and important for the Ravens to get out of this game. They need to win, but they need to get out of this game, you know what. And you can't afford to take these type of situations. And he took a shot. I'm just hoping he's not seriously hurt. I'm hoping he just got the wind knocked out of him. This was the concerns I had. Because you had to get out of the game, you know what. And you didn't want to suffer any, you know what. Heading into the playoffs, we've had previous seasons where that has happened and it's cost us. 2019, we had that cost us. We saw what happened with Mark Ingram and Mark Andrews against the Browns in Week 16. We rested them for Week 17, but they both came into that playoff game not 100%. Mark Ingram was virtually ineffective in that game, so they had to rely a lot on Gus Edwards, and we saw that worked out. And then Mark Andrews didn't have any hops, so these are the concerns that come up. We have been you-know-what all season, and we've done a good job at making sure everybody stays you-know-what. We haven't suffered a lot of you-know-what, and we want to keep it that way. We knew a game like this was going to be tough and physical. You just hope he's okay. That's all you can hope. At this point, I'm taking him out for the rest of the game. I don't care if he's fine. I'm not bringing him back out there. We need him for the playoffs. If he just got the wind knocked out of him or whatever it is, he might have a concussion. Who knows? He might have a concussion. He took that shot and didn't bounce back up. He was down on the ground, and they were checking on him. Might be serious. What's going on, George? I ain't gonna lie, Thunder's Cavs NBA Finals would actually be interesting. I hope he's okay.
Ravens fans relieved because he was able to get up, Bateman walk off smile, kind of nod of the head that he's okay. Has number 3 in the NFL in yards per reception this season.
That's a big deal for him to be okay because his growth.
All right, Bateman seems fine. He's got his helmet back on. I personally don't want him to go back out there, but you know,
a big part of this pass game. I think the biggest thing is
I have concerns. Just making sure everybody stays. You know what? 2nd and 10 here.
Zay Flowers, his health's a big deal.
They got to be careful, man. 2nd and 10. Lamar hands the ball off. Derrick Henry picks up about 4, maybe 5 yards. I just know if the Cavs make it to the finals, forget winning it all. LeBron haters won't. I mean, if he makes it to the finals, forget winning it. All LeBron haters won't. I don't care about what LeBron fans or LeBron haters have to say. Nobody cares what LeBron fans or LeBron haters have to say. Y'all, all y'all do is run your mouth and talk trash. The LeBron fans want to act like LeBron's a god, and LeBron haters want to act like LeBron's the worst thing in existence. We don't care. 3rd and 6. Lamar takes a snap. Pressure's coming. Fires. Gets it to Derrick Henry. Henry picks up the first down. So, first down here for the Ravens.
This is great by Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. You're going to get a chip to Miles, and then he's going to leak out. We've talked about Lamar and his progressions. He peeks left, it's man coverage, take off, nope. And just the ability to reset and dump that ball accurately off to Derrick Henry. A perfect example of how he has just evolved.
I would love the Cavs and Thunders to make it. That'd be great. SGA in the finals would be great. Donovan Mitchell getting on a team and going to Cleveland of all places and taking them to the finals. That'd be huge for him. 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff here to Zay Flowers, who's going to pick up 9. Great speed great speed demonstrated here by Zay Flowers. Picks up 9. 2nd and 1 coming up here for the Ravens. Should be Derrick Henry time. Just hand him the ball again.
This is happening quickly. You see they capture the edge.
Got to give credit to the Browns defense. They've at least come to play. If Baltimore wants to mess around, that's their problem. Baltimore's offense wants to mess around and do weird things. That has nothing to do with the Browns defense. They're going to be here to try to make this a competitive game as much as possible. They could care less what the Ravens are trying to do offensively. 2nd and 1. Play fake here. Gets it to Zay Flowers on a screen. And look at the blocking. Zay picks up a first down. Zay gets inside the 5. Zay's holding his knee.
Your breath about a game like this. You need to play for, but the most important thing, come out of this game healthy with a playoff run, and concern in the face of Harbaugh as Flowers appears to be in some pain.
Please just be a cramp.
Have to look at what happened here.
Please just be a cramp. Please just be a cramp. I'm begging you, just be a cramp. I'm begging you, just be a cramp. Just be a cramp. Just be a cramp. Lord, please.
The Honda CR-V hybrid, we took everything you love about the CR-V and kicked it up a notch with greater power for a CR-V unlike any before. Adventure confidently with Honda, car and driver's most awarded brand in 10 best games. The CR-V and CR-V hybrid, part of the Honda line.
The next chapter in your great adventure starts with an auto loan from Pentec.
Pentec's got great rates for everyone.
So you're saying it went like every other trial? You skated circles around it?
It did. Our trial team was on the offensive the whole time. They couldn't handle our power play. And our client was thrilled. Guys, does everything have to be about hockey? It's hockey season. Chasing Boscolo, proud partner of your Washington Capitals.
He told Mom to send her prescription to Amazon Pharmacy. She didn't. All Mom had to do was use Amazon Pharmacy, and her meds would get delivered right to her door.
Zay Flowers able to slowly walk off the field, making the motion to teammates and trainers that kind of fist to the palm, like his knee got knocked as he was laying on the ground right there.
We just better hope that's not a severe injury. We gotta hope. We just saw Zay Flowers walk off the field on his own aspect. He was holding his shin area. It seemed like he just bumped his leg. Yeah, he just bumped knees. Yeah, at the end, we just gotta hope Zay's okay. It seemed like his leg took a shot. It doesn't seem like it's anything severe, but don't put him back in the game. Don't put him back in the game. You get the Bateman scare, and then Flowers actually suffers a serious, an even more scarier injury. 1st and 10.
12, Jackson falls for just a yard.
Give this Cleveland defensive front a lot of credit. Look, Myles Garrett is someone who he said.
Sit him down. Sit down. Flowers is done for the day. Don't even bring him back out here. Zay Flowers is done for the day. Hell, I don't even want Bateman out there right now. We don't need to take these type of risks. You know we need these guys. We just gotta hope Zay Flowers is okay. Whatever the medical staff's gotta go do, please go do it out there. There's no point in bringing Zay Flowers back for the rest of this game. Here we go. Play fake here for Lamar. Lamar floats it. Andrews. Incomplete, but a flag is on the play.
Is down near the goal line.
That's a perfect throw by Lamar. My guess is this will be on Cleveland for a little bit of a hold. But my goodness, that throw by Lamar with the little teardrop.
A couple of flags actually down, maybe more than one penalty.
There's fouls against both teams on the play prior to the pass. Holding, defense number 23. Illegal formation on the offense. Number 16 was not on the line of scrimmage. Fouls are going to offset. 2nd down.
That would have put Lamar Jackson over 4,000 passing yards for the season, just 4 yards short to become the first 4,000-yard passer and 800-yard rusher in history.
That's just mind-boggling.
So Zay Flowers is walking into the locker room. They're gonna go get him checked out. We better hope it's the best case scenario that he just sore. You know, he took a shot in the knee, but his knee's fine, his leg's fine. We better hope it's okay. Because everything can unravel if you lose any one of your weapons for Baltimore. You know Zay Flowers is a need for the playoffs. 2nd and 10. Lamar. Fires. This time he gets to the Mark Andrews. Touchdown.
Andrews makes the grab, and there's 4K passing yards for Lamar.
It's just a perfect throw, and Grant Delpit had perfect position. He played it perfectly, and still had a safety sitting in the middle of the field to help him. He's playing for any outbreaking route. He's playing.
Like I said, we already expect to win this game. Zay Flowers getting hurt just put a downer on everything. Bateman getting a scare, and then Bateman getting a scare, and then Flowers actually getting hurt. That's just great to see Mark Andrews get the touchdown. That's cool and all. Baltimore's expected to win this game. We're not surprised by anything that's happening here. You got to wait for next week about Zay Flowers' condition. I need to get a report as soon as possible that tells us Zay Flowers is okay. He's just got some soreness on the knee or soreness on the quad, and he's fine. But the Ravens are just going to choose to not bring him back in this game just as a precaution, knowing that you need him for the playoffs.
But the throw just beats it perfectly. I love the fact that Lamar launches that ball to the outside. Now, as a quarterback with that leverage, you'd say don't throw it out there, maybe back shoulder, but the tempo, the pace of the ball, the placement of the ball.
How do you defend that, Lewis?
You know what? The only thing that you could say for Grant is you see at the last minute he tries to look back for the ball. He's not totally in control of Mark at the last third of the down. So that little brief look back to try and find the ball is what gets him disoriented. If he would have just played the eyes in the hands of the receiver, he may have been able to punch the pocket and get the ball out. But he made that last minute check of trying to find the ball, and that got him in trouble.
Talked about the other history besides the 4,000 passing yards. He now hits 40 touchdown passes. No one's ever had 40-plus TD passes and had fewer than 5 picks in a season.
It's hard to sit there and say he's not the MVP of the NFL. It really is. And you've got 3 quarterbacks that are vying for it. The last thing I'll say about that throw, guys, is this. A lot of quarterbacks are accurate. Accurate is throwing the ball to your guy. That's a ball placement where you throw the ball away from the defender. To Lewis's point, Delpit's got good coverage. You just throw it.
All right, Cleveland getting the ball back here on the return. Nice space here. That's a good runoff. That is a good runoff. If it was that, he would have got carted off.
We talked about jumping past Michael Vick, who is considered the greatest rushing quarterback in history, more than 6,100 career yards.
That's the thing. Like, look, right here, it's this. History. We're not talking about this season. We're not talking about the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's great. 40-4 with over 4,000 yards MVP. That's fantastic, man. I'm not focused on that. I'm gonna be honest. I told y'all I did not care about the campaign right now. I'm focused on the playoffs. This entire week, when we play Christmas, the last week and a half, my entire focus, the last week and a half, has been on playoff matchups. If we were to win against Cleveland, who would we be facing off against? The Chargers or the Steelers? If we would somehow blow it against Cleveland, it'd be Houston. How will we match up against this team? How we match up against that team? How we got match up against this team? I've been going through a lot of stuff just looking at the matchups. And yes, you don't peek ahead, you don't look forward, but you do have an acknowledgement, which every team in the AFC has that acknowledgement because they know if you want to win, you got to go through that guy. So yes, I've gone back and rewatched the film of our matchups against Kansas City, specifically the AFC Championship. Oh, what a hit by Marlon Humphrey, specifically the AFC title game and the Week 1 matchup. And I looked at some of the things we did there. There's a lot. If you look at that film, it's painful as a Ravens fan, but honestly, it's just a lot. You could see how the team lost that game. Well, the first game. The second game, there's an aspect that is showcased in both games that we need to address, which we'll talk about in the video. But the first game, the AFC title game, just wow, it's a lot. It's just a lot. Second down and 9 here for the Browns. Oh, I did not realize they were in Ravens territory. Play fake here. They put Zappy back in, which is who they should have put in. He's an NFL quarterback. Not saying he's great, but at least he could play. Putting DTR out there is just a mistake. Bailey threw a pick 6, so I understood why they took him out. But like, if you have to choose between Zappy and Zappy and DTR, just put Zappy out there. I'm dead serious. I'm not putting DTR out there. He's just not an NFL quarterback. He's not. I don't know what Cleveland's been doing in the development process. I guess they've never developed a quarterback a day in their life, but he's just not an NFL quarterback. 3rd and 6 here for the Browns. They're at the Ravens' 33-yard line. Empty backfield here for Zappy. Cal Van Noy looks like he's coming with the pressure. They chip him. Zappy steps up. There's nowhere to go. Zappy's just got to get rid of the ball, but he refuses to get rid of it. He's going to fire it downfield. Incomplete. No flag on the play. Oh, there's a flag. So this is going to be after the play. This is going to have to be a hit on the quarterback. There it is. It would have to be a hit on the quarterback because Nate Wiggins played perfect coverage and didn't make a mistake. So it would have to be a hit on the quarterback after the play. So personal foul here. Nothing you can do about that. Why is DTR an NFL quarterback? He can't do anything well. He can't do anything well. He's not consistent at throwing the ball in any fashion. Short, intermediate, or the deep passing. You could see he's struggling to even read any aspect of the defense. He does nothing. Now, can he be developed? Yes, I have been clear with this. I have said right now, DTR is not an NFL quarterback. Can he develop? I've said 15 times over. Yes, he can be developed. With the right coaching staff, he can be developed to potentially be a backup or a starter in this league someday. But right now, which I've emphasized 15 times, right now, DTR is not an NFL quarterback. He's not. He can be developed, but right now he's not an NFL quarterback. I would not play him out there. He's not even close to being ready. Zappy's not great, but he is an NFL quarterback. He's at best a decent backup. But he can play. DTR is just not there. 2nd and 10.
But a
Timeout by the Browns.
Stefanski before the play. Timeout on the field. We'll check in with Laura here, who has an update on Zay Flowers.
Yeah, Chris, as saw Zay Flowers went into the locker room, that's where he still is, and officially questionable to return with a knee injury, according to Baltimore.
Great. That tells me absolutely nothing.
Got that right knee rolled on.
He has a knee injury. How bad is the knee?
Chris, I can just tell you.
Is it a sprain? Is it? We'll have to find out that later. Maybe we'll get a report after halftime. But just telling us Zay Flowers is still back there and he has a knee injury. Thank you. I mean, you're doing your job, you're reporting, but like that didn't do anything for us. It didn't help. He just told us he's still back there, which we all know, and that he's dealing with a knee injury, which we all saw. I'm just hoping the best case scenario, he just banged knees with somebody else and he's fine. Yeah, I know. Love it. Love Zay Flowers suffering this just before the playoffs start, because that's exactly what we need. And a flag on a play, and it's probably going to be against Baltimore.
Holding on the defense, that 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run and an automatic first down.
Oh, here come the penalties. We gave them credit the last 2 games, and all of a sudden these penalties are climbing up. Roughing the passer, which again I think was an iffy call, but then holding. All of a sudden these penalties starting to show up for Baltimore again, because why not?
Second penalty on the drive. Makes it
First and goal here. They're doing everything in their... I hate when they get all these penalties. Just doing everything in their power just to push the team forward, to just give them the touchdown. Can't wait for another penalty to happen here at the goal line, because why not? First and goal here. Zappy in the shotgun. He's going to hand it off here.
Foreman has it. It's about 4. You look at the Baltimore side of things. When they have the ball really anywhere on the field, but especially down in the red zone, so many options. What's Monken going to do?
Yeah.
On the Cleveland side, what is Ken Dorsey going to do when there are so few options?
Yeah, that's been the story of their season, really. For me, it's got to be Jerry Jeudy. Number 3 for them. He's had a...
I just realized they have targeted Jerry Jeudy once, and that was on 4th down.
I would be hoping that Ken Dorsey would call a play that makes Jerry Jeudy my primary option.
And who is going to be covering Jerry Jeudy per se? I can't see based off of this iteration. Jerry Jeudy's at the bottom of the screen here. He's being guarded by Humphrey. Nearly picked off. He was looking for Jerry Jeudy. Darius Washington nearly comes up with the pick. Incomplete 3rd and 10. He was going for Jerry Jeudy. Marlon Humphrey was on him. He was there with him. And Darius Washington was there as the safety and nearly picked him off. Now, he could have got both feet down. I was like, even if he picked it, he wouldn't have got it. But he could have got both feet down.
You got to keep moving him around and see if you can find a way to get him loose.
Do you think DTR should change his position? I don't know. I don't know. You can say the quarterback can change his position. Are you sure he can do anything else? I don't know. Empty backfield. You might as well try a fade here with Jerry Jeudy. And that's exactly what they're not going to do. He ran just a quick pitch here. And the Ravens snuffed that out. Why? I throw a fade. I'm not even... I know he nearly threw a pick, but I'm throwing a fade to Jerry Jeudy on 3rd down. It's 4th and goal. You might as well go for it. It's 4th and goal. You might as well go for it. You're 3 and 13. No guts. No guts. They'll take a field goal. You're 3 and 13. No guts.
Hasn't seen coverage rotation well. I don't mind that play call to Stefanski just to secure 3 points and not get dicey with the potential another interception.
I'll take a chance with 3 and 13. What am I going to do with a field goal? So I can give Baltimore better field position? Defense has been playing well in this first half. You're only giving up 7 points to the offense. Why not back? If you don't get it, you still back them up there. But whatever. And Baltimore does get the ball coming out of half because Cleveland started off with the ball. Actually, wait, did Cleveland start off with the ball? Cleveland real rocking that Scully hat today. It's cold, my mans. It's cold. Let me take a quick peek. Yeah, Cleveland started off with the ball, so Baltimore gets it coming out of halftime. Browns have nothing to play for. Throw caution to the wind and take chances. I would love for them to take those type of chances. I feel like if I'm a coach and I'm 3 and 13, I have nothing to lose. I'll take my chances on 4th down. Hopkins is the only kicker this season that's been worse than Tucker. percentage-wise, in terms of missed kicks, I don't know how many kickers around the league have missed kicks, so you might be right about that. I can't give fair analysis about that because I have no idea about the amount of kicks all kickers around the league have missed this year in comparison to Justin Tucker. So you might be right on that. I don't know. But good news is Tucker has not missed a single kick since the bye week, so that at least helps.
Means a heightened experience. Weather in 4D. And here comes the snow. Feel the elements. Let's put cameras on every player. Hibachi vendors. A third Kelsey brother. Pitcher in pitcher. In pitcher in pitcher.
I've been pitching that hibachi thing for years.
So you guys like my ideas?
No.
So they put the report out. Zay Flowers is questionable to return with a knee injury. So if he's questionable to return,
Sunday Night Football on NBC as the Vikings take on the Lions for the top seed in the NFC playoffs. Stream games live on your mobile device with NFL.
if he's questionable to return with the knee injury, it shouldn't be anything serious. So you keep Zay Flowers out for the rest of the game, but it shouldn't be anything serious.
A monster season, more receiving yards than anybody. 16 touchdowns as well. Kind of a fashion show for the Bengals as they walk. We said earlier.
That walk is a big thing now, man. That's a big thing, getting off the bus or getting out of your car in the player's lot. It's a big thing.
I played Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. shows up to all the NBA games, camera ready.
Reminder of what's at stake here. A win, and the AFC North is Baltimore's, and the
14-3 game offense coming back on the field.
The Steelers to grab that, and even fall to the 5 seed.
So you're sitting here and you're looking at the stat line of this game as Baltimore is about to get the ball back, and you see King Henry, 4 rushes, 4 yards.
Been contained in his 31st birthday so far.
I dare them to try this nonsense in the playoffs. And don't hand Derrick Henry the ball. Don't hand Derrick Henry the ball in the postseason. You'll be going home early. And everybody will look at you like you stupid.
Getting him down on the ground before
Ravens offense played a little too loose in the the first half before eventually getting that touchdown to Mark Andrews. They do this all the time. If the Browns keep Deshaun Watson, you think the Patriots or Browns get Travis Hunter? The Patriots are getting Travis Hunter. Listen. The Patriots have their quarterback in Drake May. They're getting Travis Hunter. There's no reason they're going anywhere else. They're getting Travis Hunter. Oh, look at Keaton Mitchell. Keaton Mitchell using this. Oh, careful. But Keaton Mitchell using the speed and getting them into Browns territory. Hey, Keaton Mitchell showcasing. He still got some of that speed left. But, the Patriots, I'm putting it 90% chance. 90% chance the Patriots are getting Travis Hunter. They've already got their quarterback. They need a tackle too. That's cool. I'll take Travis Hunter and I'll still be able to get a tackle in the draft. You've got a potential generational type player that can play both ends of the field. He can play wide receiver and corner. And Drake May has nobody to throw the football to. They're getting him a receiver. Do not try to think they're not. They're going to draft Travis Hunter. 90% chance they're drafting Travis Hunter. 90% chance. If the Patriots get the #1 overall pick, Travis Hunter will be drafted by them. Now, if it's the Giants that end up with the #1 pick, they're going to take a quarterback, which will be Shador or Cam Ward. But if the Patriots get the #1 pick, they're getting Travis Hunter. They're getting Travis Hunter. That's not even a conversation. That's not a conversation. That's not an argument. That's not a debate. They have their quarterback of the future, Drake May. That's who they believe in. They have no weapons for him to utilize. He is throwing to nobodies. They need to get him a receiver. Travis Hunter solves all their issues in terms of getting him a target. 2nd and 10, Lamar throws. Woo. Incomplete there. Just missed Tyler Wallace out there. He threw that inside. Should have thrown that outside. You think if the Giants get the #1 pick, they will pull the Texans and get Hunter and Sanders too? I don't even know. Do they have to first round? Like, what are their draft picks for the Giants? I know if they've got like 2 top 5 picks, they could pull that off. But still, if the Patriots have a pick before that 2nd pick, they're going to absolutely get Travis Hunter. I don't think the Giants can get both. 3rd down and 10 here. Play clock running down, guys. They're sending pressure. Gets it to Bateman. Bateman makes a move. Bateman makes more moves. Bateman spinning, gets down to the 30. 1st down, Ravens. But yeah, I don't know what the draft order is. I have to look for the like Giants draft picks. Also, Lamar took a shot at the end there.
Run all the way over the top, but it's all about Lamar changing the protection to let that ball off.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in the corner, you got to get down on that shallow crosser. If you're Mike Ford, you got to understand by formation, by alignment, what you're probably going to get. Bateman's just going to run away from you. And we've seen he's averaging over 17 yards.
First and 10 here for the Ravens at the Browns 30.
Special teams player. We got a bunch of dudes having to step up.
That's right.
In the secondary for this short-handed team. Play clock at 1. Is he going to get it off?
No.
Instead, they'll spend a timeout.
Prior to the ball being snapped,
He didn't
delay
quite get the
game on the
timeout.
offense. That's a 5-yard
Let me see here.
They'd say the 5 yards. They're kind of late getting organized there.
Well, they were in the
20,
pistol
21.
formation, which is when Lamar's in the gun and Derrick Henry's a
I don't know if
yard or
the
two behind him.
the Giants can pull it off. I think if the Giants get number pick, they'll pull the Texans and get Hunter and Sanders too. I don't know. I don't. Do they even have 2 first-round picks?
Looks like Lamar was bringing Henry to the offset, which is on his hip, and changing what type of
3 penalties for 25 yards here, first and 15. This time they're going to kind of run a screen here with Isaiah Likely. And Likely is going to pick up a couple yards.
Yeah, again, this is behind the chains. This is behind the chains for this football team. I think it's second down because
Second down,
yeah, and so it's just something for them that they have to be so conscious of, because here it is again. Derrick Henry off the field, and now as a defense, you've got a much more likely tell of what Baltimore wants to do with the football.
Yeah, because once Derrick Henry comes off the field, you're basically saying, "Oh, we're gonna pass, or we're gonna use the read option and give it to Lamar." Like, you kind of limit the playbook when you take Derrick Henry off the field, and defenses have a better idea of what's gonna happen. Doesn't mean you can't win the matchups, but it makes their job 10 times easier.
Trying to get after Jackson.
Lamar running for his life.
Flips it across the middle, off the hands.
Oh boy,
Seen Ali out of the backfield.
he got it to Ali, but Ali just can't make the catch there.
Brought in. The Ravens said
Incomplete.
See it, Myles Garrett coming inside.
The Browns are just sending endless pressure right now. They're just sending endless pressure, and it's like, it's only a matter of time before this offensive line is going to be able to do anything. By the way, take note of what you're seeing right now. Just take note of what you're seeing right now.
Some guys here that can
Just take note of what you're seeing right now with the offensive line.
a lot of potential inside as a pass rushing 3 technique. And you know
I don't know if we're going to get to Arrowhead, but if we do, prepare for this. Look at the pressure on the right side. Look at the pressure on the right side.
pressure. Ball out. Catch made. And Bateman is short of the first down. You go for it here. They'll need
Do you know how quarterback rating is calculated? Is it completion percentage and touchdowns? It's a series of things that I don't fully know every aspect. But touchdown to interception ratio gets placed into it. Completion percentage is an aspect that does get rated to it. They do look at like the throws in terms of like 10+ yard throws. There's a bunch of stuff that goes into it. I don't know the full aspects. But yes, completion percentage and touchdown to interception ratio do play a role in that. So yes, it plays a role absolutely. 4th and 3, Ravens gonna go for it. You know, why not?
to the right.
Play clock winding down. That they're really gonna go for this, they should take it now. Here comes the snap. Lamar.
Still scanning. Back.
Lamar looking.
Trying to escape.
Fires.
Across the middle. Ball bounces up in the air off the hands of Andrews.
Incomplete.
Incomplete.
Jesus. Andrews had it in his hands. Couldn't make the catch.
job in man coverage by the Cleveland Browns as the routes
I don't know what Baltimore's doing again offensively. They're doing too much once again.
good push on the pocket.
Andrews has it. It gets punched out.
Fail on both of their 4
And,
today.
yeah.
Browns will take over.
It's one of those games, man. It's one of those games with Baltimore that's just so annoying that you don't want to see. It's one of those games where Baltimore's just playing. It's one of those days, I swear to you, man. It's one of those days. Baltimore's offense want to do some nonsense for absolutely no reason. They're back to hurting themselves. Just dumb decision after dumb decision. And when you play like this, you end up having to play 4 quarters.
Cavemen, they built fires with nothing but their wits and their bare hands.
Why did the Raiders ruin their tank? Because the players are competitive.
Some say Taco Bell.
You guys got to start realizing that the players are going to go out there and compete as much as they can. The players don't give a damn about the tank. The organization may want them to tank, but that doesn't mean the players are going out there with the mindset of, oh, we got to tank. The Giants literally beat the Colts last week based off of that. You think Drew Lock was thinking about tanking? You think Malik Neighbors was thinking about tanking? These players put their bodies on the line in these games. They're not going out thinking, oh, we got to tank. Organizations focus on tanking. The players go out and compete. So saying the Raiders ruined their tank, the players were competitive and won some games. The organization may want to tank, but that doesn't mean the players want to tank. You don't want to have to go out there, practice, lift all those weights, go to all those meetings just to go out there and purposely lose a football game. Nobody wants to do that. If you stink and you lose, you stink and you lose. But that doesn't mean you're not going to be competitive in those games. Malik Neighbors should be actively trying to drop. These guys put their bodies on the line. They have to practice. They've got to lift weights. They've got to go through all these training regimens. They put their bodies on the line to prepare for these games. They're not going to go out there and purposely lose games. They are competitors. That's loser mentality. And they're not going to do that. If you lose because the team stinks, you lose because the team stinks. But they're not going to go out there and not be competitive. That's not even a drop by Mark Andrews. The ball got punched out of his hands. That's not a drop by Mark Andrews. He had it in his hands. The defender punched it out of his hands. That's not a drop. If you have the ball in your hands and then someone punches it out of your hands, it'll go as incomplete, but it's not like you dropped it. They punched it out of your hands. The only reason it's going to go as incompletion is because he didn't have time to make a football move. He caught it, was in his hands, and then they got punched out of his hands. 2:55 left to go in the first half. Oh, God, we're really going to have to play. You're talking about the other ones. Okay. Play action here. Zappy. I don't know where he was going with that. He was looking for Jerry Jeudy. If he would have tried to throw that inside, that might have been a second pick. But yeah, these guys are not going out there with the mindset of, I've got to purposely drop passes. I've got to purposely run the wrong routes. I've got to purposely not catch the football, get out of bounds, do all these things. No, they're competitors. The team stinks. It's going to stink no matter what. They're not going to go out there with the mindset of, oh, let me purposely play like trash so we can help our what's it called? We can help our chances to get a higher draft pick. Players don't care about that. Zappy's just got to dirt it. Incomplete third down here. Pass already might be cooked. It is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I'm just focused on winning the game and getting to the playoffs. Need to lock into the second half and put them away. If they would have locked in the first half, this could have been 28-3, and then Lamar could potentially be resting in the second half. But Ravens want to mess around.
This is the team you don't want to be there with.
Talk about using 9 seconds in 2 plays, Danny. You're talking about Ravens having plenty of time. Haven't even had to use a timeout yet.
2:46 left to go. Third down and 10. If the defense can get them off the field, and that's a false start.
That's all about guys getting up in the
False start. Offense number 75. That's a 5-yard penalty. Third down.
First penalty for Cleveland today.
So you're on the road.
So now it's 3rd and 15 here.
So the center and guard and everybody's trying to communicate when the quarterback kicks. And what you get is a lot of, oh my gosh, what's happening?
I'm not even going to lie. This is so weird that Cleveland just decided to just bench Jameis and just said, let's just go with DTR and Bailey Zappi. And then we're just going to go with Bailey Zappi. Like, why? They're only doing this to get a higher draft pick.
Just sit in there. Don't shoot yourself in the foot.
Van Noy coming off the edge into the face. They pressure Zappy, who gets it out.
Yeah, he knows he's down. Just don't fumble the ball. That's going to be a stop on 3rd down. 4th down coming up here. 2:35 left to go. They're going to probably either Baltimore can call a timeout to stop the clock, or they're going to let this run down to the 2-minute warning and then punt the football back to Baltimore. Ravens can't handle physical football teams that play with heart like Raiders and Steelers. Yeah, they can't handle the D-lines. I'm telling everybody right now, say whatever you want about the offensive line and how they've all improvements here. Pay attention to that offensive line that's playing against the Browns. I've said it. Physical front sevens. Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Kansas City, they struggle with those D-lines. Just because Lamar's able to make crazy plays does not mean they don't struggle with those D-lines. Yeah, you just let it run to the 2-minute warning, and then you punt the football away. 2 minutes left to go in the first half. Baltimore has done nothing but mess around for most of this game. Defense has done their job. Offense is out here trolling for no reason. Also, guys are just not making catches.
Cisco presents the NFL Pass Protection Play of the Week. Thanks to key blocks by tackle Dan Moore and guard Isaac Seumalo. Steelers quarterback
Cleveland doesn't really give a... I mean, they don't care. when they start anymore. They're trash, and even if they do get a top pick, they still have the Deshaun Watsons. I'm staying, and it'll linger even after he's gone. Any updates on Zay? He has a knee injury. He's questionable. That's it. He's questionable with the knee injury. We don't know how severe it is. Most are suspecting that because he bumped knees, it's probably like a knee sprain or something like that, but we don't know the severity of it. We just know he's questionable with a knee injury. Cleveland's in such a horrible situation because, you know, they need a new quarterback, but you've got Deshaun Watson still here, and it's not like you can just draft a new guy. Who knows? Maybe Cleveland might sit back and say, let's just draft a new guy and see if we can slowly get rid of Deshaun Watson. We can develop him for a year or two. Now, I recommend them not drafting Shador or Cam Ward because I don't think either one of those. Shador is not going to Cleveland to be a backup, and he doesn't want to deal with the situation in Cleveland. Even if that's the case, Cleveland's not going to be. Cleveland's 3-13. Let me look at the draft picks, draft rankings. So let's see. Cleveland right now is actually the number 2 overall pick. Patriots don't need a quarterback, so the Cleveland Browns can absolutely get a quarterback. Cleveland can absolutely get a quarterback. At worst, if they lose this game, they'll be 3-14, so they'll at worst be the number 2 overall pick. If the Patriots win this week, they might lose that spot. Cleveland is probably going to be a top 2, top 3 pick. The Jags need O-line. You think the Jags need O-line? Jags need a lot of things. The Jaguars need a lot of things. But an O-line would help because you got to protect your quarterback. Once again, he suffers an injury that takes him out for the season. Patriots aren't drafting the quarterback. Tennessee, I don't know how they feel about Will Levis. You make the argument for that. Giants absolutely need to get a quarterback. They're desperately trying to get one. So if you're the Giants, you better hope Cleveland doesn't draft a quarterback and Tennessee just is perfectly content with Will Levis. If that's the case, then Shador is absolutely going to New York. But I don't know. I don't know.
Marquez is a much better punt. Boy, gets this up in the jet stream.
That's a good punt.
Drives Steven Sims way back inside the 15.
Get off me.
And a flag flies as Sims ducks.
That might be a hold on the Ravens. But yeah, Cleveland at worst is going to be a top 3 pick. At worst, maybe they could end up being the number 1 overall pick. And if Cleveland's the number 1 overall pick, we already knew that was the case. Oh wait, what? He just said holding on the Browns, but he said holding on the receiving team. You indicated Browns, but you said holding on the receive. Whatever. Anyway, Cleveland's gonna be a top 2, top 3 draft pick, and if depending on what happens with the Patriots, they may end up being the number 1 overall pick in the draft. If they want to draft the quarterback, they can. Because what does drafting Travis Hunter do for them? How does drafting Travis Hunter help Cleveland's situation? The biggest issue with Cleveland is the quarterback situation. So does Cleveland take a chance and draft a quarterback with the potential number 1 overall pick? Or do they sit back and say, we'll go somewhere else. We'll try to build our O-line. We'll try to add a defensive piece. I don't see them drafting Travis Hunter. I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to do here. That's where things become difficult. 1st and 10 for the Ravens. I don't know what Cleveland's plan is. Because even with Deshaun Watson on the roster, that doesn't stop you from drafting a quarterback. You can get off of Deshaun Watson in 2026, potentially. Derrick Henry picking up a few yards here. About 3-4 yards. Second out coming up here for the Ravens. 1:37 left to go. Baltimore's going to take their time. They have 2 timeouts left. You're not trying to get the ball back to Cleveland before halftime if you can't come up with anything here.
With this Ravens offensive line, that's number 3 in the NFL in run block win rate. And they're huge up front. You see there, when you can get Derrick Henry going sideline to sideline and knock down.
Derrick Henry has 6 carries for 7 yards. Good Lord.
They know how to stop him. They know how to slow him down. It's just a matter of whether or not you have the guys to execute it. And right now, this Browns defensive line is putting in work.
2nd and 6. Baltimore's wasting that clock. They are not trying to run anything here. Here comes more pressure. Lamar just dirts that. And they just killed all the clock. They just dirt. I think he was going with Rashid Ali, but they're not on the same page. Why is Keaton Mitchell not out there? At least barely had time to play. You think the Titans will run it back with Levis? I don't know. I don't know any of their plans. I don't know if Tennessee's fine with sticking with Will Levis for another year. I don't know if Cleveland is still going to try to get a quarterback, even with Deshaun Watson there, or if they're going to say, let's just wait till next year. I don't know Cleveland's plan. I don't know Tennessee's plan. I'm not exactly sure what these teams are doing. That makes it difficult because the Giants are going quarterback. The Giants are going quarterback no matter what. They just need to have an opportunity to get that. Andrews gets the catch and picks up the first down. Baltimore's going to call a timeout, which, again, you've wasted all the time just to make sure Cleveland couldn't do anything with it. Now you got to see if you can go get in field goal range.
They saw down the bottom of the screen immediately. Mark Andrews against Mike Ford just runs a quick out. I mean, you could see it from up here in the TV booth that's exactly where Lamar was going. That's his security blanket. Mark Andrews now starting to really pick it up here in the latter half of the season. Just an easy throw and catch, pick up the first.
That's a great job. You heard Lamar Jackson go flip, meaning the protection was set one way. He flips it to go to the other way, and then Derrick Henry...
First and 10, 52 seconds left. But I don't know what any of these teams are going to do. So I'm still trying to sit here and figure out what the plan is here. What is the game plan with Tennessee? Has anybody had any talks about them moving off of Will Levis? Cleveland, people are speculating they're not going to go with a quarterback, even though they need a quarterback. I don't know what the plan is in Cleveland. I don't know what the plan is in Tennessee. The Giants need a quarterback, and the Patriots don't. So that's where things become difficult. Lamar.
And escapes, still trying to create something, still going. Tips another tackle. That's
Lamar going to pick up the first down with his legs.
13-yard run as he's finally dragged down.
Timeout again. 38 seconds.
Look at Myles Garrett right now. He's literally walking back to the huddle going, are you kidding me? I had him, and he told us last night, he said it's that craftiness of Lamar Jackson that is just so frustrating.
Lamar has been utilizing his legs the entire first half. Lamar has 59 rushing yards, bro. Will Levis is like a 1 year younger. Will Levis is like 1 year younger than Lamar. Yeah, which is why I don't think the Titans are going to, like, move off of Will Levis. I don't know their game plan. I've heard no conversations about them moving off of Will Levis, even though he's had his moments where he's had his moments where he's looked good, and he's had his moments where he's been Will Levis, which is why he's been a meme all damn year. I don't know what you do. So I don't think Tennessee, in my opinion, I don't think Tennessee is going to draft a quarterback. I'm skeptical about Cleveland's specific aspects. I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback. But who knows what Cleveland's going to try to do. We don't know what this organization is looking to do. So that's kind of where I'm just at right now.
Henry, they don't have a timeout. Oh, he came close to breaking loose for his first explosive.
They got to go spike this down. They're trying to get to field goal range.
13, they're near midfield.
First down here.
23.
Get lined up. Spike it with 19 seconds.
You stop it at 19.
Really good mechanics there by Baltimore, though. That's the only throw there for Lamar, and you're saying, hey, go make a play. Derrick Henry does. Everybody gets up to the line of scrimmage. You got to get into a legal formation. You saw the nonverbal communication. Now the big
19 seconds left. Can you get into field goal range? Bring Tucker out. Make it a 17-3 game. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting come draft time. But we have to see how things go. Patriots could end up winning and dropping. The Titans can end up winning and dropping. And the Giants can end up losing and getting higher. The Giants winning against the Colts was the worst thing that could have happened for them. Because they need a quarterback. And now your draft aspect is where it is. But again, like I said, these teams aren't actually looking. Andrews makes the catch out of bounds. So he's going to pick up some extra yardage out of bounds perfectly. Picking up about 6 yards maybe. 12 seconds left, third down here. Yep.
That's a great job.
Well done, Mark Andrews.
Is the ball secured, though?
Yeah, it looks like he's got his hands underneath it.
So now this is where things get difficult because I don't know if they're gonna. If you waste too much time, you're in trouble.
Can you maybe get 8-10 yards and quickly get up to the line of scrimmage? Usually it's about 15 seconds is the cutoff. So right now you're thinking.
They have to get something quick. Get something quick and get lined up to get Tucker something. They're going to say it's incomplete here. So with 8 seconds left, do you bring Tucker out there to try a 60-plus yard field goal, or do you just say, let's go for Hail Mary?
You basically really focus on your foot-to-ball contact. And he said he tries to kick it as hard and as straight as possible, but then he just prays because that's really all you can do. Now, the direction he'd be kicking right now is definitely the windier side of the field, guys.
Hasn't been a vintage season for the great kicker. He has missed 8 field goals.
10 seconds left. If you can get something quick to the outside and get out of bounds, you can give Tucker a shot here. So this is where you got to get something quick. Cleveland's going to call timeout here. If the Vikings were to trade McCarthy, where do you think he should go? I don't know. One, I'm not exactly sold on them trading. I'm not exactly sold on them actually going out there and trading J.J. McCarthy. Because, again, I don't think they're going to look at this and say, Sam Darnold's the quarterback of the future. We've got it. We're not even going to have an insurance bracket. You can have J.J. McCarthy still be there and develop for a year or two while Sam Darnold does what he does. I don't think you devote yourself to Sam Darnold long term because we've seen the Vikings do this before. We've seen the Vikings do this before. We saw Case Keenum have his best year of his career with the Vikings. They won 13 games. They won all the way to the NFC title game. Kirk Cousins gets signed there, puts up borderline elite numbers, and they do win a playoff game with Kirk Cousins. Doesn't come to anything. And now Sam Darnold revives his career, has an MVP-type season. Do they give him a long-term deal? The Vikings, you don't know. Is this how Sam Darnold's going to be moving forward? Or is this one of those magical years? We've seen this with the Vikings before. This has happened multiple times. So it's kind of a difficult situation here. So they got to pick up 4 yards here and get out of bounds.
Jackson with the flag down has a whole bunch of blockers headed for the perimeter, and he'll dance out of bounds.
If the flag is on the offense.
Range, but we'll check the marker.
What an unbelievable play call.
All right.
Legal shift on the offense. We did not all get set. That's a 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
Well.
No runoff. We had a dead clock.
3 seconds left. Do you want to throw a Hail Mary?
He's got Keaton Mitchell and Tylan Wallace moving. Look at, they both have to get set for about a 1 second. Yep. And you see as Wallace gets set, Mitchell keeps going. You would love for Lamar to say, Keaton, just stop. And then they would have been legal. It ruins an outstanding play call because that would have gotten them, with enough time, an opportunity to kick the football.
There's a purple convoy in front of him.
That was a great play
Well,
call.
4 seconds left. Not in field goal range.
Now you've got a Hail Mary attempt here.
You might as well go for Hail Mary, I guess.
They choose to.
I personally wouldn't do it.
Browns are going to bring pressure, and Jackson slings it over the middle, and Isaiah likely has the ball knocked loose by Rodney McLeod, and that incompletion will end the first half.
And that's going to end the first half. Baltimore doing a whole bunch of nothing in this game. Such a weird game.
Lamar Jackson's offense to 7 points. The pick 6 by Wiggins began the scoring.
Okay, halftime. Baltimore is up 14-3, but they are playing terrible football right now. They are playing terrible football. They're going to win this game, but they are playing some serious awful football right now.
Ready to go now.
Yes, all right.
Darnold's a system quarterback. Yes, that's fine. That's why I'm asking, when you brought up the talk about if they were to trade McCarthy, and I'm saying, why would they want to do that? Are you sure Sam Darnold is the future? I don't think you want to take that risk. Because we saw this with Case Keenum, we saw it with Kirk Cousins, and now we're seeing it with Sam Darnold. They have been able to bring in guys and revive their careers. I don't know if the Vikings are willing to accept that when you drafted this young guy. My opinion, you sit back, you stick with Darnold, see what he does next year. If you want to give him a 1-year deal, cool, maximum 2 years. And you let J.J. McCarthy not only recover from a season-ending injury that he suffered, you let him recover from that, but you also let him recover and develop over that time. So that when that contract is over with Sam Darnold, you can have J.J. McCarthy ready to come in. We saw this with the Packers, with Jordan Love. There's no reason to take a risk here. No reason to take a risk. That's just in my opinion. No reason to take a risk. But it is what it is at the end of the day. Anyway, it is halftime. I have to go do something. I will be back for the second half of this game. second half here. Hi. Had to handle some business. Also saw something on Twitter here.
That's all they accounted for, and it took a perfect throw by Lamar Jackson. They've got to build just some rhythm back in this second half.
In that 3-game in 11-day span, 30+ in all 3 of them. Laura, what do you have?
Well, Chris, we'll see this Ravens offense without their star wide receiver, Zay Flowers, as he has been ruled out of this game with the knee injury that we saw him deal with earlier in the first half. And John Harbaugh told me he doesn't really want to see anything change offensively. He just wants to score points, which makes sense. On the defense,
All right, Zay Flowers has been officially ruled out.
Penalties have been a problem.
Yeah, penalties have been a problem. The way it's been a problem all season.
If they can secure this lead, playoffs will be 2 weeks away. So time for Flowers to try to get that knee
2 weeks away.
ready.
What are you talking about? Playoff in here.
Formation. Henry.
First down here, Derrick Henry.
Now Derrick Henry in the clear for the first time.
And Derrick Henry finally getting him involved. Not like you shouldn't have done that to begin with.
But he picked up 20.
Huge run by Derrick Henry, finally getting him involved.
Unbelievable block by Linderbaum. Watch how he reaches that defensive tackle and completely turns him. Derrick Henry with that jump cut stiff arm. That's exactly what this Ravens offense is.
Derrick Henry nearly took that to the house.
Between Linderbaum and Voorhees gives him just enough help before he gets to the second level. That's the first time.
Finally realizing, yeah, you still got Derrick Henry here. Maybe you want to use him? First and 10.
Fake it to him.
Fake it to him. Nothing was there. Lamar's just got to take off. It was a fake handoff. He was trying to get the slant, but it was well defended. And he didn't see he didn't see anything he liked there, so he said, "Let me just take it."
To this offense. Lamar Jackson was under center. He just turns around and hands it off to Derrick. It's been such a shotgun-centric offense over the last 2 or 3 years with Lamar Jackson. The ability to just go back under center.
Please run more under center. This team is just such a much tougher matchup for teams to deal with when you're running under center versus when you're running in the shotgun. Unfortunately, you know, you got to deal with aspects of the shotgun because that's where Lamar works and operates under. Hey, look, another blitz is coming. Lamar across the middle to Isaiah Likely. It is caught for the first down.
He was in front of Cameron Mitchell. And there's a Browns defender on
There's a Browns player down. He's holding his knee. Man, this has been brutal.
Junior.
Hopefully he's okay. Medical staff's out there to check on him.
Suspension, had a knee injury earlier.
Oh, man, that's not a good transition for me. I think I should leave it to myself. I think I really should leave it to myself. I don't think I should say that statement. No point in saying that statement at the end of the day. I think I'm going to leave that to myself. But that was such a transition because I wanted to talk about something too. I wanted to talk about something, but I think I'm going to leave that alone.
Show me your prodigies, your wonderkins, overnight successes, and we'll show you the late nights, the early risers, the tough days, the relentless fighters, taking small steps forward to make the big things happen. Football fans know the biggest game of the year isn't really about the game.
Man, this is a good move by Chicago. This is a good move by Chicago.
Except Orlovsky. We've got some strange food takes, but that's okay. More snacks for us.
Through HIMS, you can find personalized prescription weight loss treatment options 100%
Yeah,
online.
yeah. Good to see you at least work. I might need you later on.
Your own skin. Get started today.
Ravens driving on this opening second half drive. They're in Browns territory. Let's see if they can finish this off.
For nutrition, hydration, sleep, and movement. Get started today at forhers.com.
It's Special Agent Will Trent. How do I look? Thanks, girl. First case back. We're gonna solve this.
The cart had an
Oh,
accident.
they're bringing the cart. This is severe.
Michael Jr.
Hopefully it's nothing that severe, but the fact that they're bringing the cart out means it is bad.
Off the field, legal issues, a 5-game suspension to begin the season. Then he had a knee injury that cost him 4 weeks. trying to get back healthy, close out his rookie season. And this is apparently how it'll end, with a cart ride.
You see him there just trying to stunt down inside, trying to get penetration. Leg gets caught, his knee, right leg gets caught in an awkward position.
Oh no, that's a non-contact injury.
See him right here.
That is a non-contact injury.
His knee gets, his foot gets turned.
No, there was no contact to the leg there.
There's a lot going on in that play. We'll show you some other aspects.
Oh
of
boy, that's
pass
bad.
protection for Jackson as we come back after this timeout.
Man, that is brutal. That is brutal. Oh man. Those non-contact injuries can be severe. Let's hope he's gonna be all right, but who knows? Hey. Seeing them pull up the ruling. I already said it early on, but yeah, the ruling for Zay Flowers being out for the rest of the game is here.
SEC men's basketball on SEC Network.
The very last day of a rough season, Mike Hall Jr.'s injury, the latest, just decimated this Cleveland franchise. Support from the Ravens crowd as Hall is taken off. We talked about it in the open, eight starters for Cleveland down for this.
Yeah, it's tough because they've got some young guys. Lewis mentioned Juwan Briggs. Mike Hall is one of those guys that has shown some flashes, and they are, in the process present day, but very much so Kevin Stefanski in the future, trying to find somebody to go along with Miles.
First and 10 here for the Ravens. 13:27 left to go here in the third quarter. This is the opening drive for the Ravens in the second half here. They're at the Cleveland 30-yard line here. Lamar going to take this under center.
That was a very damaging loss, linebacker for this defense.
So they're going to line up, hand it to Derrick Henry. And there goes Derrick Henry, picking up some yards. Pick us about 6 yards here. Second down coming up for the Ravens. This is the formula. I don't know why Baltimore wants to come out and play the way they play. This is the formula. This is the formula. With Derrick Henry, this is the formula. It's not complicated. It's not complicated. Offense needs to wake up. Offense needs to do what works. It's not complicated. You know what works with Derrick Henry. You've been doing it all season. Stop trying to have Derrick Henry run out of the shotgun. Line him up under center and hand him the ball. You can also initiate the play-action passing game from there. Like, this works for Derrick Henry. We don't need to be dumb here. Here comes Derrick Henry once again. Flag on the play for what? This is about to be an offensive hold. What's the flag for?
Flag back at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be a hold.
Offense number 72, that's a 10-yard penalty. Second half.
This is also the other aspect that kills it. Where you absolutely want to be able to run the ball with Derrick Henry. But then you get sent back 10 yards because of a holding call.
You see his hands out.
He's holding them. He's holding them.
Top of the shoulder pads, grabbing the jersey.
He's holding them.
John Harbaugh telling Laura the penalty is one of the things that is annoying him about this performance so far today.
That's been part of their season. I mean, their offense.
6 penalties today already.
Very, very few.
Second and 15. And now you got to take Derrick Henry off the field, which makes it easier for defense to adjust to what they want to do. Lamar going deep. And Mark Andrews makes an incredible catch. First and goal for the Ravens. How did Mark Andrews catch that? Wow.
He throws that ball so early into a once again spot.
But just look at Grant. Grant's right there. The mistake Grant Delpit makes. He swats at the ball instead of just stabbing at the ball. He tries to slap it down. Just stick your arm out, you probably knock it out.
Think of what do I have to do? He's all over Andrews.
Exactly.
That's perfect coverage. How does Andrews make that catch? That is perfect coverage. That is perfect coverage. They're going to stop Derrick Henry there on 1st and goal. But that's perfect coverage. I don't know how Mark Andrews makes that catch. Swear to God, we can make the difficult catches, which is good to know. But sometimes we be dropping the easy ones. 2nd and goal here. Got to get in the end zone once again.
Otherwise, you have no shot. And this young defensive line, no matter how decimated this team is, these guys are playing with some intention.
Let's see what Baltimore does. They've so often have tried to single up coverage.
There's going to be play action. This is going to be play action on 2nd and goal here. It's going to be play action. There it is. Play action. Lamar. Touchdown, Bateman.
His 41st of the season. And Bateman looked to be potentially injured early in this game.
Good to see Bateman's okay. Bateman with the touchdown.
And catches Jackson's 2nd touchdown today.
These kind of zone coverage situations down here in the red zone, you've got to plaster as the route and as the play starts to extend. You just can't stand and stare at the quarterback. They totally lose Bateman in the middle of the field.
So Ravens comes out here. Second half opening drive. They come out here. They score a touchdown, make it 21-3.
Yeah, I think he felt pretty good about this throw after he let it go.
1 of 1.
So Ravens up 21-3. Honestly, you probably need, if the defense can make a stop and you get one more good offensive drive, that should be it for the starters. You put them out. 28-3 should be enough for the starters to rest, and you can just call it a day.
Excitement comes standard with the Honda Accord. And so does a turbocharged engine. Sophisticated. High-tech.
Ah, man. I do hope Zay is okay, though. Based on some of the talks, it seems like he's fine. It was just he bumped knees with the guy. It's cold, so you bump knees with the guy and it's cold. It's going to be painful. So hopefully it's okay, and it's not going to be something that's going to linger.
But with the money you earn from your PenFed checking and savings accounts, you can be there to support them through every stage of life. I got it.
Welcome to Jiffy Lube. How can we call more for you today?
Just quick, please. We got a date with the zoo.
No worries. You'll be in and out with a powerful, quick quality oil change.
My windows are kind of a mess.
We got you. Need a car and courtesy vacuum?
You're gonna need a bigger vacuum. Car more. Now I get it. Mommy could use a little self-car.
Jiffy Lube. Car more.
You ready for the NFL playoffs?
What you got, Chad?
Let's put cameras on every player. Weather and 4D. Hibachi vendors.
What do you want, Chef? Okay, I'll get up.
So you guys like my ideas?
No.
Alright, it sucks to see Flowers get hurt knowing we got a playoff game next week.
NFL on ESPN.
That's what hurts. That absolutely
Where
hurts.
you want to be. Progressive Insurance. Save when you bundle auto, home, or motorcycle insurance.
Yeah, this was week 18 last season.
Burger King.
We let the Steelers win this game.
Burger King for a limited time, only $4.99 each.
That hurt.
This was last year, week 18. Our crew suffered. Look at the conditions, rainy, nasty. Lamar Jackson not in the game, not as much at stake. Hey, these guys, no complaints today. They got it good.
Yeah, lucky the camera guys, man, they ain't got to deal with any rain this week.
Bunch here. We appreciate what they do. This is, of course, our end of the run. Unless you're in Australia, New Zealand, or on a cruise, you can hear us through the Super Bowl.
Yeah, how about that? New Orleans.
It's a
down there.
18-point margin here. And the MVP chants very much echoing through the stadium again.
I feel they're very much so directed at the booth right now.
Come on, Dan, you are mainly responsible for giving the
It's
MVP
my
in the
dumb
league.
problem, no doubt.
21-3. Browns getting the ball here. I can't wait for the next game, man. Baltimore, like I said, I expected them to come out here and clinch this. They weren't going to mess around. They did play around a bit too much here with how they played the first half. That was nasty, but still at 14-3 lead.
Where you get the back and the flat and the corner going by the tight end. And what happens is the defense with Lamar looking that way is all starting to flow that way. And then you get Bateman. I love the fact that he uncovers as this backer gets lost. Lamar finds him, get boring in that space.
You cannot display spot drop zone coverage down in the red zone.
1st and 10 here for the Browns. Down 18, got to do something this drive. He's going to float it. Incomplete. Ardarius Washington makes the play, knocks the ball away. 2nd down and 10 here for the Browns.
The reason why I say that is that, look, okay, so you see Tyler Wallace just kind of sits in there and just runs a little spot route, and Bateman's just curling back inside. The corner, Mike Ford, you got to like kind of fall down on that route, and you got to pick it up. I mean, Lamar, it's too easy. I mean, when a guy's just sitting there wide open, of course he's going to throw a touchdown pass. You're not helping yourself by just letting
2nd down and 10 here.
Fist bumping up in the booth. Lamar spinning away, just letting the crowd reaction confirm that it was an easy touchdown.
They're feeling good.
Play fake, fires across the middle. It is caught. Hamilton immediately makes the stop there and drops him down there. 3rd down, and Hamilton's down.
Kyle may have hurt himself again, just laying down on the
This would be
left arm. Really
here.
Left arm.
Oh my God.
And Hamilton, the guy that
I can't keep doing this.
nickel back to safety. And
This is the 3rd injury scare in this game.
Defense has been allowing 9 points per game less, a lot less passing yards. Initial impact on the hit there.
I would say Myles Garrett, obviously, very much so in the running for the Defensive Player of the Year. I think you've got to say Kyle Hamilton's name very much so in that as well, because we've talked about it.
He's okay.
And the butterfly effect of
He's
what he's
okay.
done on this defense.
But that might be a concussion. They're going to go get him checked out in the tent.
The worst defenses
Worst case scenario if it's a concussion, because he might not play next week.
defenses in the NFL. He has
Wow.
very much so saved
This is why I hate the league for making these AFC North matchups at the end of the season. You know these divisional games are physical. 3rd and 2. He's just going to fire it. Incomplete. Jerry Jeudy had it. I don't know why he dropped that. He had it. Just got to hope he's okay and it's not a concussion. But who knows?
Trying to get some rhythm, some chemistry down, but it's been really difficult today.
Yeah, Judy's got to make that catch.
in the middle of the chest.
It's right there. That's a good throw. Judy just has to make that catch.
Wiggins reaching his arm across, but no excuse for correct. He's had an elite season.
It's the downside. Jerry's a really good player. He's a little bit of a body catcher. Often
And they're punting.
his chest. He allows the
You're
ball
3 and 13.
separation of the other
Man, we need more Dan Campbells, dog. We need more Dan Campbells.
Quarterback carousel, 4 different guys throwing the ball to him.
We need more Dan Campbells. This is ridiculous.
4 catches coming in.
You're a 3 and 13 football team. You're down to 18. Why are you punting on a 4th and 2 situation? And with so much time left, it's like the offense, the starters just have to keep being in because it's still technically a game. They're gonna have to play 3 quarters again. To play 3 quarters, you go sit down. God. So hopefully Kyle Hamilton is okay and it's not a concussion, because if he does suffer a concussion, that could potentially mess with his chances to play in the wild card round. Baltimore right now is just, it's just panic mode, man.
Far, far, far away, or ones you used to call home. And if you need to rewrite it, there's no fee to change your flight. Where should we go next? Well, that's up to you. Because when we built the world's biggest airline, we built it around you.
Instead of just asking, how can we treat Leo's ankle? At MedStar Health, we ask, how can we get Leo the exact care?
Hopefully Hamilton's okay, man.
Care that quickly gets him in for an
From what I'm hearing, it's not a concussion. People are saying it's more so an arm/shoulder injury. If that's the case, that makes it fine.
doesn't have to miss his very important afternoon appointment. How we help Leo get back to his life is about so much more than how we treat his ankle. MedStar Health, it's how we treat people.
Yo guys, you ready for the NFL playoffs? I got some ideas.
What you got, Chad?
High stakes football needs a heightened experience. Whether
put cameras on every player. Hibachi vendors.
What do you want, shrimp? Okay, wait up.
A third Kelsey brother. Pitcher in pitcher. In pitcher in pitcher.
I've been pitching that hibachi thing for years.
So you guys like my ideas?
No.
Total Replay brought to you by Courtyard by Marriott. Nice mix in that last Ravens touchdown drive.
They really did start to establish line of scrimmage, putting Ricard at the fullback position in this running the weak side lead.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Game's going the way the game's going, but like seriously, the concerns for Zay Flowers is just gonna be on my mind for the rest of the day. That's just gonna be on my mind for the rest of the day. And I just gotta hope he's okay. I gotta hope everything's fine.
And then you just see the drives here today. The last one being the TD. What you really like here is at the beginning of the second half, offensive coordinator Todd Monken says, look, we got to get big number 22 going. We got to come off the ball and get him going downhill.
Yeah, run the offense you've been doing all season, and you'd be fine. I don't know what they were doing in the first half. John Monken can get cute sometimes.
This formation's been used, and Jackson tried to get Andrews again. Once again, it was Delpa in cover, just overthrown.
What I love about this, though, is like
Lamar tried to go for Andrews there. That just was not going to be there. I'm not going to lie. That wasn't going to be there for Lamar. I'm going to keep it a bean. That was not going to be there. That was covered the right way. You have the corner right there, right next to Andrews, and the safety over the top. That just wasn't going to happen.
But then we're going to try and hit again Mark Andrews in the second round. You saw Lamar was frustrated. He missed it.
Monken had 1 year with the Browns in 19 before he went down.
Second and 10.
The Bulldogs offense.
I'm giving it to Derrick Henry.
National championship.
And there's Derrick Henry.
Is loose. Big fella hurdling people and banging out across the board.
First down here for the Ravens.
Slow start, but it's picking up momentum now at 21 there.
I think that plays a perfect example of why this offense is so hard, because you get the motion, and that's a horizontal pull, right? You get this motion, and that flies everybody that way, and then Derrick Henry comes downhill. So you have a horizontal stretch with that motion in Lamar, and then a vertical push with Derrick Henry in a shoulder square, essentially kind of those two runs at the same time.
Hand it off to Derrick Henry.
Football again, cuts back.
And Derrick Henry, once again, getting loose. This is the focus, man. You got to give Derrick Henry the ball in the playoffs. We'll talk about this next week as we prepare for the wild card round, but you've got to give Derrick Henry the ball. If this offense tries to go too one-dimensional, just pass it 40 times, it's not going to work out. It's not. You have to run the ball. There's a simple formula that Baltimore needs to follow if they want to get this done in January. And I'm afraid they're not going to. And the way they played this first half makes me very scared that they're not going to. But this is not the first time we've seen this with Baltimore in terms of going away from what works to doing whatever they want in the playoffs. That's why they're so untrustworthy as a team, because they do things like this. The way they played in the second half, they should have played like this in the first half. You cannot just sit back and say, let's just not use Derrick Henry in the first half. What makes this offense dangerous and so problematic for teams to deal with is the utilization of both Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. You cannot just move him aside and pretend he's not there. You'd be like, okay, let's just pass the ball, pass. Or we're going to run the ball, but we'll hand it to Rashid Ali or Keaton Mitchell at times. Derrick Henry needs to be utilized. It shouldn't be one play, and then that's just it. They give the ball to Keaton Mitchell here. He picks up 3 yards. 3rd down and 1 coming up here for the Ravens.
A secret weapon for this football team as they move on into the playoffs. Keaton Mitchell. He has game-breaking ability. Totally different body type, obviously, than Derrick Henry. But John Harbaugh loves it. He's electric. He's lightning in a bottle. And that's a heck of a 1-2 combination.
3rd down and 1 here.
When Justice Hill is healthy as well.
Exactly. Justice, I'd say, is one of the better pass-catching backs in the league.
It's a piece who's been missing from the attack today. Jackson.
Lamar just going to keep it himself.
Ball in his left hand, so he wasn't
and he's going to pick up a 1st down.
But he's able to pick up the 1st down. Lamar taking too many hits.
And there's another Browns player down. They're probably going to have to stop running these quarterback runs with the way this game's going, man.
I think John Harbaugh was excited that not only
another Browns player is down, and this is just getting scary.
It's 3rd in history after the greatest show on turf, the Rams. You go way back to the 54 Rams, but yards per rushing play. Now, they are on pace to be right there with the Jim Brown-led Cleveland Browns attack in the early 60s, and that part I think Harbaugh liked. That's a It's an incredible average per carry.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to give Todd Monken a ton of credit.
The Ravens averaging 5.72 yards per rush this season. The NFL record is 5.74 by the 1963 Browns. And I don't think they're going to get that, but, you know, the key is there. The formula is there, man. When you have Derrick Henry, utilize him in the playoffs. And I hope the Ravens don't get dumb in the postseason and decide we're not going to utilize both these guys. Derrick Henry is an aspect you need to utilize. I love Justice Hill. I love Keaton Mitchell. But Derrick Henry is the key to get you a championship here. And if you don't utilize him and you try to put it all on Lamar, or you sit back and say, let's try to use these other guys and have Derrick Henry standing on the sideline when he's perfectly fine, it's going to cost you come January. So I'm scared. I'm scared. The formula is there to win, but I'm scared Baltimore is going to move away from that formula and it's going to cost them in the playoff game. We'll see next week because they'll be in the wild card round, but I just have concerns. I have legitimate concerns about this Ravens team. I have legitimate concerns because I'm afraid they're going to forget to use Derrick Henry, and we're all going to be pissed off. 1st and 10 here.
Lots of manipulation of protection here on 1st down.
Lamar with a deep drop back. He got hit as he threw.
Falls way short of Bateman.
He was looking for Bateman downfield, but I don't even know if he would have got him there.
He's going to have a touchdown to Rashad Bateman. They changed the protection. They kind of shored up, but the rush continues to get home to Lamar. He
And
takes a shot.
Lamar's taking some shots, man. We got to be careful.
That's 2 plays in a row that Lamar has taken some shots.
They have got to be careful, man. You cannot have Lamar be taking these shots, man.
And then seeing if you can get some of your guys out of the football game to get ready for the playoff run.
Malik Hudson did not pull off that time.
Not at all.
He'll be quarterback.
Jim Schwartz said, hey, look, we're here to play. He's still sending people after his quarterback. They're going to play it to the end. His guys have not let up at all.
Here comes Derrick Henry. Nice tackle. 3rd down coming up here for the Ravens. One more touchdown drive should be enough to get the starters off the field and just play the backups for the rest of the game. Because you up 28-3, that's a wrap.
Right on Derrick Henry. You see it here.
Lamar had Bateman down the field but got hit as he threw the football, and that's why he was so pissed. He knew he had Bateman for the touchdown.
That's how you do it. Head across the bow, as they like to say. Same arm, same leg.
3rd down and 4 here. Don't mess around. Give this to Derrick Henry. And they're going to pass here. Lamar. Flag. Clear pass interference. And they don't call it.
I think Bateman fell down. Cameron Mitchell just trying to break on the route.
What?
Bateman was slipping at the end. You're going to see it here. You're going to try and plant.
Oh, he slipped. Never mind. Never mind, he slipped.
Lost his feet, then got shoved to the ground.
Never mind, he slipped. I can't do anything about that. He slipped. Bateman slipped.
Coverage on the part of Mitchell. The Browns defensive backs have been.
Well, they're going to go for it on 4th down here. Neither team has converted a 4th down today. Might as well go for another one, I guess.
4th down stops already, trying for a 4th here. Play clock at 2.
Barely got that off with the play clock.
Don't know if Harbaugh.
Did they get it or did he call the timeout?
Prior to the ball being snapped.
Yeah, he did.
It's delay game on the offense.
He did not take a timeout
5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Why didn't he call a timeout?
Take an eye off the ball a little bit there, collectively. And now
Go bunt this thing.
I'm still looking around. Yeah, 0 on the clock.
Why didn't they call a timeout? Don't you just love Baltimore playing sloppy football heading into the playoffs? That gives you so much confidence as a fan that they can get it done, right? And now because you played like this, you have to bring the offense back out here again.
The next time they play a game, it's going to be here, and it's going to be a playoff game. Those kinds of penalties, which have been a problem this season.
Nicholas, I'm not dealing with you right now. I'm not dealing with you right now. I'm not. I'm watching this team show me the clear signs of what's to come in the wild card round. I'm not dealing with you right now. Oh my goodness. Ugh.
One more Sunday.
And not to mention, I'm not even focused on that. I'm focused on Zay getting hurt, and I have no idea how that's gonna go. I have no idea the severity of the injury. Best case scenario, it's a bruise. He'll be fine, and we'll see him play. Worst case scenario, I don't even want to talk about that.
Thanks for swinging by, Carl.
Baltimore obviously is going to win this game, but it's just like, Nothing I've seen today gives you confidence that they're going to be fine heading into the playoffs. They're still making the same mistakes they've been making all season, and I don't see how that's going to change between now and the playoff game next week. Maybe they beat the Chargers or the Steelers, whoever they get, man, but you can't play like this and expect to get to the Super Bowl. Like, the way they're playing right now, if they play like this against Kansas City, they're going to get beat. They're going to get beat. If they play like this against Kansas City, they're going to get smoked. It's a meaningless Week 18 game, and we out here looking like this? Receivers falling down. Receivers falling down on routes. Receivers falling down on routes, forgetting to catch the ball. Like, come on, man. Like, this is gonna get you beat in January. Now, it's weird, like, because on one hand, I'm saying this, but on the other hand, they're up 21-3, so you're like, are you sure? Like, is there much to say about that? Well, yeah, the Browns are a terrible football team right now. So congrats on being able to be up 21-3 against a terrible football team. But you're not playing well as a unit. You're not. You are not playing well as a football team today. You're not playing well. You're not. You are not playing well. The mistakes you've made have literally kept your offense out here longer than it needs to be. We don't care about the aspect of playing these snaps. We don't care about the aesthetic look of it. We want our starters to rest as quickly as possible. Zay just went down. Bateman had a scare. Hamilton had a scare. We do not want our starters to continue to be out there. You're going to go for it on 4th down, but you don't call a timeout. You let it go to a delay of game. Harbaugh's standing right there and doesn't make a timeout call? Like, come on, dude. 1st down, Cleveland. And to make matters worse, if Cleveland gets points out of this drive, if they get a touchdown, make it 21-10, then that means your starters are required to come out there. Because you'll be heading into the 4th quarter, potentially, with it being a 2-possession game.
Long period of time in the medical tent, but I'm told he's good to go. Also, earlier in the game, when it appeared he was injured and went off the field, I'm told that was an equipment malfunction.
Sign of relief theme here.
Ah, boy. 1st and 10 here for the Browns. Gotta hope the defense can make another stop here. I just want these guys to get off the field as soon as possible.
And I said earlier,
yeah, Kyle Hamilton's fine. He's on the field. But again, it's these scares. You see Hamilton down. You see Bateman down. You see Flowers down. And Flowers is the one who ended up getting severely hurt. Or at least hurt to the extent where he's not back out there. That's a concern heading into a playoff game next week. And it's not like this is a meaningless game. It's not a complete meaningless game. Is it a meaningless game in terms of playoffs? Yeah, because you're already in the postseason. But it's not completely meaningless because you're fighting for the divisional crown. You want to win the division. If you lose this game, Pittsburgh has a chance to take the division. Adafe. Get him down. Good Lord. Adafe got him. I was about to say, bro, do not let this man get past you. I hope y'all don't play the Steelers in the playoffs. I'm fine playing the Steelers in the playoffs. In terms of matchups, the only team that will give concern is the team that gives everybody concern. Kansas City. We match up well against Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Houston, LA, and Denver. Or Cincinnati. We match up with everybody. We match up well with Kansas City, but you can match up well with Kansas City and still lose. We proved it last year. So I'm not concerned about the Steelers in the wild card round. I'm not concerned about the Chargers in the wild card round. I'm not. I'm fine matching up with any of them. But if Baltimore's going to perform like this, it's going to get them beat. If they play the Chargers in the first round, they play like this, they're going to get beat. That's where the concerns come in. You're playing a bad team. And yes, you're up 21-3. But if you've looked at some of the elements, you should be up by more. And if you're going up against a better squad, they take advantage of some of these situations. You're 0 for 3 on 4th downs today. It's not a good look. You've missed a lot of plays that could have been made. And the plays that have been made have been erased by penalties. That's where some of these concerns will come in. Just because the Browns are a bad team don't mean you're going to go up against a bad team next week in the wildcard round. If you play like this, it'll get you beat next week. Zappy might as well launch that thing. Incomplete. And now Judy, he took a shot. He might be hurt. Defense is doing their job. If there's anything I can say this, once again, the defense is doing their job, but it's the offense that's doing that nonsense, which has been the exact same thing we have said about this team for how many years in the playoffs? Defense doing their job, offense not doing much of their job. They're playing a bad team today, so again, you take advantage of playing a bad team and performing the way you are. But even so, they haven't done a lot of good things offensively. 4:12 left, and yes, you have to go bring your starters out there. One more touchdown puts this game on ice, and you can finally rest your starters. If you would have scored on the last drive, these starters don't have to come out here.
Michael Vick always had that title of the greatest running quarterback ever, and he made some of the most electric plays in the history of this league. His record stood until this season. Lamar Jackson passed it last year, and then, or last week, I should say, and then weaving around. And what do you think? Greatest running quarterback ever between those two?
So yes, we have to bring the starters out here once again because you need one more drive to put this game on ice. 4 minutes left to go in the third quarter. One more touchdown drive can allow the starters to rest. First and 10 here. Lamar's going to take the snap. Gets it to Andrews. And Andrews lets that get ripped out of his hands. I don't know if that's going to be incomplete or a fumble. That's going to be incomplete. So this is where the concern comes in. This is the second time Andrews had a catch and just lets a defensive player just come in and force the ball out of their hands. This is January football, and the Ravens receivers have apparently forgotten to show up. Drop passes, getting ball stripped. What are we doing? What are we doing? Good Lord, this is where the concern comes in. Now you got to start asking questions. You play in Baltimore. Can y'all not handle the cold? Y'all play in Baltimore, and then come January, the receivers forget how to catch or hold on to the football. Like, dog, why?
Second and long run that we knocked down by Thomas.
Like, come on, man. Look at this ridiculous nonsense. Andrews has a first down. It's in his hands, and he lets the ball get stripped out of his hands. How do you let that happen? The ball is in your hands. You make the catch, and you let a man come in and just strip it out of your hands. I don't know what to tell you, man. This is where concerns will come in. Deep drop back, Lamar just has to get rid of it. And again, this offense is looking the way they're looking. They are playing so bad today. And if you guys are watching this today, I hope everyone's paying attention, because you know who's looking at this? Kansas City. They're seeing, oh, so that offensive line still is problematic? That offensive line still can't protect Lamar? Bet. Walk into Arrowhead with that O-line and watch what we do to you. Walk into Arrowhead with that offensive line and watch what we do to you. Because all the Browns are doing is sending pressure, and we have no answers for it.
You know what's interesting about that you just said, though? Derrick Henry still only has 13 carries. Like, when they continue to feed him, I mean, what is his average per carry on first down?
Overall, it's 5.5.
Only the Ravens could choose to go away from things that work. What are we doing? You don't need to show us the potential matchups. We are going to win this game. No one's sitting here thinking the Ravens are going to lose. But this is how you're looking heading into the postseason? As soon as it turns January, the offense forgets how to do anything competent, right? How many drop passes have happened today? Mark Andrews' second time catching the ball and having it get stripped out of his hands.
They're not very explosive on offense, so I think going against Baltimore's defense, advantage Baltimore's defense.
Good Lord. Good luck in the wild card round if this is how the offense is going to play. And I don't understand why it's so difficult for them to do things that work. This offensive line is not good enough, or better yet, it's not consistent enough for you to consistently put Lamar in this drop back situation. You keep trying to drop back. They're just sending pressure. It's not hard for them.
Because
Kansas City is watching this and they're like, they still haven't fixed their offensive line. Lamar still can't get protection in the pocket. We can still get to Lamar by just sending pressure. All right, bet. If they walk into Arrowhead for an AFC title game, we're going to beat you. Buffalo's watching right now and saying, interesting. So all we got to do is send pressure and that offensive line folds. Bet. Walk into our stadium for the divisional round and see what we do to you. Like, this is ridiculous. The Chargers have a good front seven. If all they got to do is just send pressure to get to Lamar consistently, they can do that. Where are the adjustments for the offense? They keep sending pressure, and you're having no answers for this. Where are the adjustments? You're about to head into the playoffs, and once again, defenses are just sending pressure, destroying your offensive line. Lamar's running for his life, and you have no answer for this. You think Cleveland's going to change their scheme up? You don't think other teams in the playoffs are watching Baltimore's offensive line struggle to protect Lamar here? And not thinking, hey, you know what we can do? Just send pressure. I guarantee you Buffalo's watching. I guarantee you Kansas City's watching. Kansas City's done it to us multiple times. This offensive line is going to get us beat again. That's exactly what I know. That's exactly what you're thinking. Spags plan every single time against Lamar. Just send pressure. His offensive line can't protect him. Just send pressure. First down Browns. It's so clear to everybody, which is why it's so conflicting as to why Baltimore can't fix this issue. Why don't we have any quick plays for this situation? And the unfortunate part, but the weird but unfortunate part is, against Kansas City, they did. When the O-line was getting cooked, you know what Lamar was doing? Checking the ball down to Justice Hill to pick up first downs. Against Kansas City, we were doing the right things. We weren't sitting there with Lamar dropping back and trying to get these deep routes down the field. No, it was check down here, check down here, check down here. If they're going to blitz, we've got to get the ball out of Lamar's hands quickly. And that's exactly what they did against Kansas City. Now, as the game progressed, they went away from that. Also, the penalties didn't help. But still, they found success in these quick throws here and there against Kansas City's defense. Spags wanted to send pressure. All right, dump it off here quickly. Dump it off here quickly. Third and 8, let me just check it down to Justice Hill. Let him go pick up the first down. These are the things we did against Kansas City that were successful. But here we are, a game before the playoffs. The offensive line's getting bullied again. And we still can't make those adjustments. Kansas City is going to get this offensive line smoked once again, and we'll be here for it. That's offensive pass interference, so don't even pretend. That's clear offensive pass interference. You pushed him. Can't trust this team in the playoffs. It's the same story. Dude, if your offensive line's not good, there's nothing you can do. If your offensive line is not good, you're going to get your quarterback killed. This O-line is getting cooked. Every good D-line we play, they get cooked. This is why Lamar's the best he makes. That's great for Lamar being the best. That's not going to get us a championship, bro. It's not going to get us a championship. Can we get an offensive line that can protect? Look at the offensive line that... Dude. Where is it? Where is it? I saw this straight up. Final play of the quarter, heading into the fourth quarter.
Very quiet afternoon. Cleveland offense just trying to do something to threaten. Still just 136 total yards for Stefanski's team today. Talked about the string of possessions without a touchdown.
I can't find it, but there was 3 of their offensive linemen that they had a stat on, I think, for like giving up the least amount of pressures and sacks. In fact, I think 2 of them haven't given up a sack all season. End of the third quarter here. Kansas City's offensive line is protect. The only issue with Kansas City's offensive line was their left tackle. They fixed that situation. Mahomes is getting all the protection in the world now. It's never been able to handle Chiefs, Steelers, Raiders, and Browns front seven. Name one time where the O-line played well versus one of those teams. That's my point. That's my point. This offensive line has been a problem all throughout the times. So how do you expect to win in January against a team like Kansas City if your offensive line is still an issue now? That's my point. You're watching this right here. They've never been good at being able to protect Lamar against any of those aggressive front sevens. So if you know your offensive line can't hold up against these guys, What do? You've got to make some adjustments. Lamar can't hold on to the ball for too long. Where are the checkdowns? If they're going to send pressure, force them to back up with some checkdowns. 2021, we beat them. Our O-line played well for the most part. Our O-line still struggled against them. Our O-line in 2021 still heavily struggled against them. It's still heavily. That's probably one of the better performances, but the offensive line still heavily struggled against the Chiefs. And the only reason we won in 2021 was because Odafe Owe knocked the ball out of who was it? Was it Edwards-Hilaire's hands? That's the only reason we won that game. He knocked it out of Edwards-Hilaire's hands, and then Lamar on fourth down took it for the first down. Blame EDC and Harbaugh. Harbs won't put the best out there because of ego, and EDC said this O-line was good enough to protect our MVP. It's not good enough to protect Lamar. It hasn't been good enough to protect Lamar all season. Whatever. And at this point, I don't even know what to think. If Ben Cleveland's really all that, let him go to another team and prove it. I'm serious. If Ben Cleveland is the guy that many of us have been trying to put him out here to be, let him go to another team and go prove that. Because at this point, you might as well.
But it's brought to you by Expedia. Early saving by the Ravens defense. Bailey's happy first game in about a year. Fooled there. And Nate Wiggins with his first career reception. Crimson. Andrews got going. Touchdown reception. The tight end there beating Delpit. And then this one. This is your favorite play of the day, Dan. Kind of no look. Steph Curry spin away. Bateman got you.
The reaction. Just the reaction of the ball left my hand, but I know it's a touchdown. No, Luke doesn't love it.
This is where the concern is. We all knew Baltimore was going to win this game. But this offensive line cannot protect Lamar.
Because you know what? I mean, sometimes you let people tell it. It's like everything that happens in football, this is always about the offense just dictating to the defense.
The worst part is it's because of interior pressure.
You do, but Lamar's made a few DBs get out of alignment.
That is true.
3rd and 16. That's a jump, by the way.
Guess who's looking for more money and more
Ben Noya jumped. Ben Noya jumped. But again, it's just this offensive line's not going to protect Lamar. This is where you got to make some of these adjustments, man. Offside, we know. Ben Noya jumped. But this is where you have to make some of these adjustments, man. This is where you have to make some of these adjustments.
$250,000. Hey, that's a $500,000 night just for putting the quarterback on the ground twice. Are you kidding me? I'm happy for that guy. That guy's become a phenomenal player. He's their best pass rusher. He's had a phenomenal
We're watching right now. The team's going to win this game, and they're going to win this by double digits. But if you're watching the Ravens offensive line, you know they can't play like this against Kansas City. Worst part is there's nothing you can do. They are who they are. They're not going to turn into this magical team that can all of a sudden make these type of stops. They are who they are. Incomplete. Brandon Stevens knocks the ball out. No flag on the play. 4th down. Oh, never mind. There's a flag. How is it always pass interference anytime Brandon Stevens makes a stop? How does Brandon Stevens always get called for pass interference? I swear to God, bro. Brandon Stevens, he's either terrible or has the worst luck in the world. You know what? He got there before the...
Clearly too early. Drives hard on it. Everything's good except that last third of the down. But getting back to Kyle Van Noy.
One way or another, Brandon Stevens will find a way to show his true colors. He's always there. He's always there. Can never make the play that you need him to make. And when it looks like he makes the play, flag. It's because he didn't make the right play. Pass interference. And great. Now if they go down the field, score a touchdown, our starters have to continue the play. Oh my God, this team. Well, I mean, we all knew what this team was going to be. It's not like it's surprising me at the end of the day. It's not necessarily surprising me. That's why it's hard to get mad or pissed off. It's just sad that this football team could just keep going out there with the power of friendship and think that this offensive line is going to help hold up against Kansas City. When Lamar gets strip sacked for the 15 millionth time, have you noticed this? Damn near every time Lamar has played the Chiefs, he's gotten strip sacked. Have you noticed that? They've forced turnovers every time they've played Lamar. Did you notice that? Oh, look, Brandon Stevens gets cooked. And he couldn't hold on. Never mind, they said touchdown. Oh, look at Brandon Stevens getting cooked for the 15th millionth time. So, show me, did he hold on to the ball? Let me see. Catch. He smacked him in the head, too.
That ball's coming out.
Oh, that's out.
Ruling on the field was a catch and the ball came loose after the receiver.
That's a touchback.
If he gets 3 steps in, doesn't matter what happens in the ground. But does he get that 3rd foot down?
1, 2. No.
Stevens ripped the ball out.
That's close.
Just maybe before that 3rd
1,
He crosses the pylon
2.
with the ball. That's the interesting thing for me.
He's inside the pylon.
I don't know what this would be ruled as.
Bergman is our rules expert.
Ruling on the field of his touchdown is under further review.
And of course, Brandon Stevens getting cooked. We'll see what this story is going to be, but Brandon Stevens getting cooked is exactly what we expect. I mean, it's just it's in him. It's in him. This is who he is. This is who he is. So at this point, maybe Mike McDonald was doing such a damn good job to cover up this. I don't know what to tell you, man. Just Brandon Stevens is getting cooked. It's like all the things that we see from the Ravens that are problematic, we just keep seeing it. We just keep seeing it. We just keep seeing it, man.
What if a little bit of help on our wrists could help us quit quitting?
Hi, you might know me from my other job, but I'm a business owner too. Here at Once Upon a Farm, we chose the Capital One Venture X business card. With no preset spending limit, our purchasing power adapts to meet our business needs. Love it. And unlimited double miles means we earn more too. Sweet, right? And when we travel, we have access to over 1,300 airport lounges. I could get used to this. The Capital One Venture X business card. What's in your wallet?
This team finds a way to stress you out every week, even in a meaningless game. A meaningless game. What's going on, Houston? Happy New Year, man. Appreciate you. Even in a meaningless game, in terms of playoff, you know, you don't need this. It's not a win and you're in type situation. It's win and you win the division type thing. But like, still, the Ravens just find ways to just play like this against a meaningless team. This is what frustrates me about the Ravens. Against better competition, they play at a high level. Against worse competition, they play like this. Why do the AFC North teams love doing this? Play up to your competition. Stop doing this. How can you blow out playoff teams but struggle against teams that are 3-11 or 3-13?
Thrash his arms right there before he could get that foot down, which would have made it a moot point, and before it crossed the plane. Great effort by Stevens.
Absolutely, to not give up on the play. He clearly has been someone that's been targeted by the Browns here today.
Oh, no, it's not by the Browns. Every team targets Brandon Stevens. Why would I try Nate Wiggins or Marlon Humphrey when I can try Brandon Stevens? That's been a league-wide thing this year. They're not trying Marlon Humphrey. They're not trying Nate Wiggins. They're trying Brandon Stevens because they win that matchup most of the time. But hey, seemed like he finally made a play.
Cleveland's offense just trying to find a way to score a touchdown.
So they're going to rule this incomplete. 24 straight drives without scoring a touchdown for Cleveland is nasty work. 13:42 left to go. I really don't want to have to see the offense come out there again. If he scores a touchdown, the offense is required to come out there. Well, catch is made. Stevens gets him down. 3rd down coming up here.
Yeah, they definitely put a bullseye on him. They sent Marlon Humphrey off the edge. Little nickel fire. Kyle Hamilton.
3rd and 5.
This is when Zach Orr can dial up these simulated pressures where he'll get multiple people up in the line of scrimmage. Remember, on the road, you got to communicate who's got who.
This is 4-down territory for the Browns at this point. Here we go, 3rd and 5. Across the middle of the field. It is caught. 1st down.
Back-to-back plays. Time it's in front of Kadarius White. That's a 1st down.
And that's why you put those tight ends in the back.
Likely scenario outcome, we will beat the Chargers in the 1st round, then the Bills in the divisional to be determined against the Chiefs in the conference championship. Do you agree? I don't know. I don't know. That's going to be your path, most likely. unless the Steelers lose. If the Steelers lose today, we get Pittsburgh in the first round. But if they win, they clinch a five seed, which means the Chargers will be locked in at the 6th seed. I don't know. But the way the team plays, you never know. Dog, they're purposely tough. This is nasty. Zappy's just consistently looking at Brandon Stevens' way. Like I said, they have tested Brandon Stevens all season, and he has gotten cooked for pretty much all the season. So they're just going to keep targeting him. And come playoff time, Mahomes, Allen, Herbert, they're targeting the hell out of Brandon Stevens, bro. Wilson, whoever you get, Baltimore's going to win this. So at this point, you got 4 potential opponents you would have to go on the way to the Super Bowl. So whether it's round 1 with Russell Wilson or Justin Herbert, or round 2 with Josh Allen, or round 3 with Patrick Mahomes, they're going to target the hell out of whoever is Brandon Stevens is covering. 3rd down coming up here. Pittsburgh versus Baltimore first round will be cinema. I mean, it'd be a divisional matchup, so anything goes and anything can happen. With the way the Ravens played today, they could certainly get beat by the Steelers. And again, Pittsburgh right now is reeling so much, they got to get some form of consistency. If the Steelers beat the Bengals, that would be huge for them entering the playoffs. If they head into the playoffs on a 4-game losing streak, oh yeah, Pittsburgh going to be reeling beyond belief. 3rd down and 9 here. Empty backfield here for Zappy. Roquan is lurking. Zappy. Touchdown. Oh, Brandon Stevens. Oh, Brandon Stevens. Ain't nothing changed with Brandon Stevens. Ain't nothing changed with Brandon Stevens, bro. He's still the same guy. And because he scored a touchdown, the offense has to come back out here instead of resting in the 4th quarter. Brandon Stevens, they legitimately said, let's keep going to Brandon Stevens. Brandon Stevens, Brandon Stevens, Brandon Stevens. Have you noticed? Zappy won't even look in the opposite direction. He keeps looking for wherever Brandon Stevens is. It says, that guy's food. I can get the ball to anybody that's covering that's being covered by Brandon Stevens. Can't wait until the playoffs start, and you have Brandon Stevens out there getting cooked. So who's it going to be? They're going to rotate George Pickens to be on Brandon Stevens. He's going to get cooked. If it's the Chargers, probably. Let me see. We ain't got no choice but to keep our starters in because the Ravens want to play like this. Could have made it 28-3 and be resting on the bench, but whatever. If it's the wild card round, I can tell you right now, we don't even need to pretend. We don't even need to pretend. Wild card round. If it's Pittsburgh, they're going to move George Pickens on to Brandon Stevens. If it's the Chargers, they're going to move Lad McConkey or Palmer onto Brandon Stevens. Divisional round if you get that far. If it's the Buffalo Bills, it's whoever offense on Brandon Stevens. Amari Cooper one-on-one, by all means. Shakir, by all means. Coleman, by all means. It's whoever offense. Same with Kansas City. You put Hollywood on him, you put DeAndre Hopkins on him, I don't care who you put on him. Whoever is on Brandon Stevens, it's whoever offense. It's whoever offense. Watching the playoffs, it's going to be whoever offense. Marlon Humphrey and Nate Wiggins, they're not even going to test him. Did you notice that Bailey Zappi stopped throwing in the direction of Marlon Humphrey and stopped throwing in the direction of Nate Wiggins? It's because you got this dude here in Brandon Stevens. Why would I throw to these two guys that can lock teams down when I can throw to this guy that always gets beat? Literally had 3 straight throws in the direction of Brandon Stevens. 3 straight throws. Brandon Stevens versus Xavier Worthy. Oh my God. You know the way the Chiefs like to use motion? They're going to motion him right to the right to make sure he's on Brandon. They're going to be moving Worthy all over the place, and he's going to be on Brandon Stevens. I would love to see Xavier Worthy versus Nate Wiggins. You ain't going to get a lot of moments like that. Why? Because Brandon Stevens is going to get picked on in the playoffs. And the sooner this defense realizes this, and the sooner Zachary Orr realizes it and says, we got to bench him, the better. But is it going to happen? No. No, it's not. It's not.
Yeah, well, the motion goes, so that means it's man coverage, but Kyle Hamilton's going to drop down to the middle of the field. Brandon Stevens has got to remain outside leverage on that corner-breaking route. He's going to be right here. Now you're going to see everybody on Baltimore's defense playing that outside leverage besides outside of Brandon Phillips, knowing Lewis that Hamilton's in the middle.
Why is it always Brandon Stevens getting picked on? And you look at this, everybody's doing their job. Tre'Davious White was doing his job. Hamilton was doing his job. Washington was doing his job. Everybody's doing their job, but Brandon Stevens is just getting beat. Woo! Woo! And now that fear, that little fear that, hey, Baltimore might blow this for the division. Now that fear is a real thing. Let Baltimore's offense go out there and make some mistakes. All of a sudden, that 21-10 game could be 21-17. 11:33 left, plenty of time. If Baltimore cannot go regain this by making it 28-10, you're going to find out real soon. Offense come out here, dilly-dally, turns the ball over, makes mistakes. All of a sudden, Cleveland has a chance to go score a touchdown.
Finally had something nice to look at in the tablet. He went 7 drives.
Like, when are they going to wake up and realize Brandon Stevens, you're just putting him out there to just be food? Baltimore doesn't move their corners. If Baltimore was moving their corners, fine, so be it. You can live with it. But they're not. Offenses are moving their corners and putting some of their top receivers on Brandon Stevens and then just throwing the ball to him. And Baltimore's okay with letting that happen. Watch the playoffs. Brandon Stevens is going to get picked. He's going to be picked on the entire postseason. Meanwhile, Joe Burrow, he's getting himself ready. He's out there ready to try to go throw for 3 touchdowns and 300-plus yards to try to give his team a chance to make the playoffs. But they're in Heinz Field, and Russell Wilson and the Steelers know they can't go into the playoffs losing 4 straight games. They're watching this game closely. Baltimore blows it against Cleveland, Pittsburgh can take the division with the win. But even if that doesn't happen, Pittsburgh can't go into the playoffs losing 4 straight games. They've got to win tonight and clinch a 5 seed so that they can go in with some momentum. 1st and 10, here comes Derrick Henry. And he's going to be stuffed there. Maybe he picks up a yard. 2nd down coming up for the Ravens. Let the Ravens mess around here and have to give the ball back. And all of a sudden, we're going to have some serious issues. Baltimore loves doing this against inferior competition.
Well, how does Lamar Jackson not win MVP? And then you've got Josh Allen, what he's accomplished up in...
I don't care about the MVP right now. I'm watching this team do what they've always done. And it's been a huge part as to why they can't get over the damn hump.
If he somehow gets Cincinnati, and those 3 quarterbacks are very much so deserving of the award. Only one of them's going to get it.
Most valuable player, the more prestigious one. That's different than player of the year, right? That's more of a, I guess...
I don't think it matters if Pittsburgh wins the division or not. Go back to 2020. It's not really about them winning the division. It's more so about us. If we lose, we got to go to Kansas City for the 2nd round. I'm not trying to see Kansas City into the AFC title game if you can get that far. If you lose this game, you're going to Arrowhead in the 2nd round. Also, you lose a chance at the home playoff game. So you have to go on the road to Houston, and then you'll have to go on the road to Kansas City in the 2nd round. Nobody wants to see the Chiefs into the AFC title game if you're able to avoid them. And that was a 3rd and 8, just as Baltimore's offense goes completely cold. And now here comes the pressure. Got it to Bateman. Thank God. Bateman makes a play.
Speaking of the MVP caliber play, I mean, that's a lot of what Lamar has done this year. You have a really good play call, and it's executed perfectly by your defense. And then somehow Lamar gets outside of the pocket. Bateman sits in a soft spot, and he finds him. And it's a big time.
It's good to see Bateman and some of these receivers have learned and improved in that aspect. You've got to sit in the soft spot. Don't keep running. Please remember that if you see Kansas City again, because that cost you at the goal line. 1st and 10, they give it to Derrick Henry, and again, the defense just gets there and makes the stop.
He sure is, and I tell you, the defense, Cam Thomas, number 99, is showing up as well. There was a great pick.
If this offensive line can't protect and block, we got no shot. That's why I really would love. I don't know, dude. I don't know. You're asking me these questions like I know the answers to them. But, oh, why'd he slip there? I don't know, because as soon as he got the ball, there was a defender in front of him, so he had to, I don't know, stop on a dime to try to get past that defender. 2nd and 12, and here comes Lamar having a run for his life again. Fires, caught by Bateman again. Another first down. Bateman's doing his thing today.
This is a phenomenal route by Rashad Bateman. His health is such an impact this year. Watch how he pushes, seams inside, sets that defender, and then slips him without the contact on the outbreak.
Yeah, that's just a beautiful move by Bateman.
I absolutely love.
You see Mike Ford's eyes, the corner. See him staring in at Lamar because he knows that the cheat code is about to break contain to get out on the edge. So he's looking
At this point, Lamar, this is what you're going to have to do in the playoffs. You cannot just stand in that pocket. You're going to have to be rolling. Lamar is going to have to be moving the entire postseason. I don't trust that offensive line to give him enough time to just have him stand in the pocket. And there goes Derrick Henry. Derrick inside the 20. Derrick Henry inside the 15. Inside the 10. First down.
Getting closer to 100 yards. You got 16 more there. It's at 85 right now.
Watch Tylan Wallace and then Ronnie Stanley. Wallace down to get Rodney McLeod. McLeod and then Ronnie Stanley pins. And Derrick Henry, Lewis, you've mentioned it, getting those shoulders and his body momentum pushing forward.
just by the alignment. Cam Mitchell, the corner, you got to get wider and get more leverage so you can force at a better angle. He was just too tight. Derrick Henry recognized it instantly.
False start here, of course. Bateman, the only skill position player who showed up today. There's no Flowers. There's no Flowers. Your other skill position player in Say Flowers is in the locker room. We don't know what his status is going to be for next week. We don't even know the severity of his injury. You got two skill position players, and one of them is hurt. So you got, it's Bateman or nothing. And Mark Andrews has been making plays, but he's also been dropping passes and getting stripped. You never seem really impressed with the Ravens this season. I stopped having expectations from them for a while now. I don't care what they do in the regular season. We know they can. You've got one of the best quarterbacks in the game. Patrick Ricard. Ricard gets close to the goal line. This is where you just give the ball to Derrick Henry now. Like, I'm not even joking. You've got one of the big four. When you got one of the big four, the regular season doesn't mean anything. It's about what you do in January. So, yeah, I don't seem impressed with what the Ravens done this season. I expected it. You seem more invested in the January playoff Ravens, especially after what happened last season back in 2019. I had the same mindset last season heading into the playoffs. And I have the same mindset. I came into last season with no expectations. I came into this season with no expectations. Nothing changes. We knew the Ravens were going to make the playoffs, and we knew Lamar would be in the MVP conversation. Is anybody surprised? Derrick Henry, touchdown. That's all you needed to do. You can put this game away. The starters can go sit down now. That's all you needed. But you can put this game away. The starters can go sit down now. That's it. That's it. Not a great performance by this team, but you can go sit back, put the starters down. It's 27-10. There's no way they're getting anything going at this point. The offense has done what they needed to do.
And the Ravens answer Cleveland's first touchdown by taking it 70 yards in 8 plays, almost 5 minutes to build the lead back up to 18.
6:44 left. The offense is seized. Their time is done. Rest your starters. Get ready for the playoffs. Rest your starters and get ready for the playoffs. That's it. That's it. Am I going to watch the Steelers and Bengals game? I'm probably going to stream it. So just be on the lookout. I'm probably going to stream the Steelers and Bengals game. Just be on the lookout for that.
Backside guard and you flow with that fullback. They kick inside out and then
you dance.
This is like us in the booth.
It's cool to listen to both guys talk about their relationship with each other. Both funny guys. They keep each other loose. They joke a lot when it's time to joke, and then they're both, of course, all business.
What did Derrick Henry say when we asked him about Lamar? Like, how great is he playing? And
that was Derrick Henry's 15th rushing touchdown this season. That's a Ravens record.
L could score 60 touchdowns if he wanted to. He just doesn't because he wants everybody else to get involved.
He said he's never seen anyone who makes the game look so easy.
But he was so serious.
You cannot get Houston Texans some confidence, but y'all got to wrap this up now. I mean, the game's basically over. I just didn't like some of the things they did. I'm glad they got Derrick Henry more involved in the second half, but they should have got him involved earlier. The way they played in the first half was problematic. That's the issue. The way they played in the first half was problematic. The way they played in the second half was better, but there were just some things they did that reminds me of so many previous playoff failures. And if they do that in the postseason, they're going to lose. You cannot perform like this in the postseason and assume you're gonna win. It's just not gonna work that way. It's not gonna work that way. So Lamar and the starters, their day is done. 6 minutes left. the day is done. Barring some quick score touchdown, the Ravens offense is done. Only player in NFL history with 3 career seasons of 1,500 plus rush yards and 15 rush touchdowns. 2019, 2020, and this year. So good on Derrick Henry. Shout out to him. He's had a fantastic year, and I promise you, if we're gonna win a Super Bowl, it's going to be because of this guy. This guy is the catalyst to get this team to New Orleans. And if we don't utilize him properly, we're going home. So the Ravens are going to win the division. They're going to be the 3 seed, and they're going to prepare. They're going to get either Pittsburgh or the Chargers next week. We'll just have to see how that's going to go. But, man, they have got to take a look at this film and figure out what they're going to do with this offensive line. Because the way you play, the way this offensive line is played against these physical front sevens, this is going to get you beat in January. You've got to you may deal with a physical front seven in the wild card round next week. If you want to beat the Chiefs, this offensive line can't play the way they did. And if it's going to play like this, Lamar can't stand in the pocket. The way he moved, he's going to have to keep moving. Lamar cannot afford to just stand in the pocket with this offensive line against Kansas City. He will get eaten alive the way he has in some of these other matchups. And it's going to be frustrating if they play like this against Kansas City, assuming you get that far. Because at the same time, we can make jokes. Oh, we beat him 35-10. We beat him 35-10. Congratulations on beating him in week 4. That front seven's going to be more prepared to deal with Derrick Henry and the run game. They stink at stuff. They don't stink, but they're middle of the road at stopping the run. You can run on them, but don't pretend that front seven of Buffalo is just going to sit back and let Lamar have all the time in the world in the pocket. They're not. So whether you're dealing with Buffalo, whether you're dealing with Kansas City, whether you're dealing with Pittsburgh, whoever, if this offensive line is going to play the way they played, you're going to get beat. Simple. Like, we can say whatever we want to say. It's like, yeah, great, feel happy. You won the division. You've already clinched a playoff spot. But nothing has surprised me. Nothing has surprised me. I told y'all to start this. I told y'all to start the season. What did I say to start the season? Baltimore is going to go 12-5. What is their record about to be? 12-5. I said they'd be 12-5 and win the division. Guess what? They're about to be 12-5 and win the division. So, have they exceeded my expectations? No. I predicted them to go 12-5, and I predicted them to win the division. They've done both. You have not exceeded my expectations. And I even said the losses they would suffer. The only thing I got wrong was them losing, was Cleveland. No, not Cleveland. The only thing I got wrong was the Raiders and Cincinnati. My 5 losses on the season, I said they'd lose to Kansas City at Kansas City. I said they'd lose to Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. I said they'd lose to Cleveland at Cleveland. I said they'd lose to Cincinnati at Cincinnati. And I said they would lose to the Eagles. And I was thinking maybe the Bills, but I said the Eagles. Those were my 5 losses. The only thing I got wrong was we lost to the Raiders and we swept the I wish we swept the Chiefs. We lost to the Raiders and swept the Bengals. That was the only 2 things that surprised me. I didn't expect us to sweep the Bengals, and I didn't expect us to lose to the Raiders. But 12-5 with a divisional title, I already had that on stock from the start of the season. Chris Boyd nearly got a pick on 4th down, but turnover on downs. So, me personally, I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. Everything I've seen by the Ravens this season was well within my expectations. I said they'd put up monster numbers with Lamar and Derrick Henry. They have. I said this team would be 12-5 and win the division. They just have. What is there for me to be surprised about? Everything has been leading up to what they're going to do playoff-wise. I wanted to see how the team was going to react playoff-wise. Guess what? We're in the exact same scenario we've been in the previous playoff moments. The defense figured themselves out. I believe in this Ravens defense heading into the postseason. Why? Because every time... Oh, why? The starters are still out there? Are they just going to play until the end of the game? Why are the starters still out there? Why are the starters still out there? Why are the starters still out there? But like I said, I'll get back to that. But like I said, oh look, they're showing the AFC Championship game. Speaking of that, the 2023 AFC Championship game. Thank you for showing me the Zay Flower fumble. Thank you for showing me Pacheco score. Thank you for showing me Lamar throwing a pick in the end zone to seal that game and when we lost 17-10. Thank you so much for showing me that. I appreciate that. Not like I'm not already talking about Kansas City.
to become something or somebody that you're not, and making sure that you play the game on your terms.
Think about when we play the Chiefs, we just can't impose our will both sides. When Lamar and the offense balls out, the defense gets torched. When our defense plays good, our offense can't.
Team knows how to play when all the chips are on the line. And number 15, that quarterback who didn't make the Pro Bowl this year, yeah, I think he's gonna have a point to prove.
Uh-huh.
I mean, the Chiefs have somehow found ways to win. It hasn't always been pretty.
Yeah.
Not dominant at all. And that's why there are people maybe looking for holes there, looking for other teams to upend them this year.
3rd, 2, just gotta give it to Derrick Henry. I think they just want to kill the clock, which is why they got the starter still out there. I don't know. I'll just get Derrick Henry out of there. I don't know. Oh, Derrick Henry, he's gone. Derrick Henry's gone. Touchdown.
King Henry celebrates his birthday, which got out to a slow start, but a strong.
And that should be over 100 yards rushing for Derrick Henry and 2 touchdowns on the day. Derrick Henry doing Derrick Henry things. Yep, 20 carries, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns. 27th career game with 2+ rushing touchdowns. Ties Jim Brown for 4th most in NFL history.
Again, we're talking NFL history again. Tying the great Jim Brown for 4th most in NFL history. Just tip your cap to Todd Monken again. He went back to his guy here in the second half and said, I've got to get the diesel going. I just got to get him going.
That's the goal. That's the focus. That's what needs to be done. You see that guy number 22 that's going to the Hall of Fame? Please use him in the playoffs. Don't be stupid here. Use him in the playoffs. He's the key to getting us to New Orleans. You need 8 and 22 to work together so we can book a ticket to New Orleans. If you put it all on 8, we're not going anywhere. We're not. You need 8 and 22 to take us to New Orleans. If we can remember that, we have a chance to get there. Because I trust in this defense. No matter what we want to say about the Ravens, prior to minus 1 year, minus 2019, name me a time where the Ravens defense did not show up in the playoffs in Lamar Jackson era. Minus 2019, when this guy, Derrick Henry, ran all over us. Name me a time where the defense has not shown up in the playoffs. Can't find a single moment. You can't. In the wild card round, they held, let's see, 2018, we had lost 23-17. Again, 23 points, probably not the best aspect against the Chargers, but 23 points wasn't the worst. And that, again, I don't even blame 2018. That's rookie Lamar Jackson, 21 years old, youngest to ever start in a playoff game. That's cool. By the way, they've outrushed their opponents by 100+ yards 11 times. That's another NFL record for this team. But, yeah. So, 2019, we saw what happened with Derrick Henry in that Titans game. 2020, they held Derrick Henry to 10 points. They held Derrick Henry and the Titans to 13 points. Divisional round, they gave up 10 points of offense. One of it was a pick 6 by Lamar. So they gave up 13 and 10 in 2020. Then we saw in 2022. In 2022, they gave up, in the wild card round, they gave up 17 points to the Cincinnati Bengals. 7 of those points was on the fumble 6 because, what's his name? Tyler Huntley fumbled the ball and it was returned for 6 points plus the extra point. So they gave up 17. Then last year, they gave up 10 points against the Houston Texans, and they gave up 17 points against the Chiefs in the AFC title game. So minus the first 2 years, minus 2018 and 2019, the Ravens defense has not given up 20+ points in the playoff game. 2018, they gave up 23. 2019, they gave up 28. 2020, they gave up 13 and 10. 2022, they gave up 17. 2023, they gave up 10 and 17. I promise you. Yeah, I said it. He threw a pick 6 against Buffalo. That's why I said the defense gave up 10 points against Buffalo. He threw a pick 6. The defense, I trust this defense to show up. I do. I trust this defense to show up. They're not going to shut anyone down. That's the postseason. But I trust them to hold teams to within 20 points against anybody. Kansas City or not, they will hold teams to within 20 points. The question is, can your offense score in the playoffs? This has to be the year we get the answer consistently. You saw remnants of that last year in the divisional round against the Texans. We need to see that on a consistent scale. If we can see that on a consistent scale, we can get to New Orleans this year. Oh, a big man interception! Michael Pierce got a pick. Michael Pierce got an interception. A big man interception. Michael Pierce just got a pick. How the hell does Michael Pierce get an interception? Nah. Alright, nah, that actually made me smile. That's the highlight of the season. That's the highlight. Damn, that one Browns fan that's at the game is just depressed. But that's the highlight of the season. That's the highlight of the season. That's the highlight. Forget about Lamar's 41 touchdowns. Forget about what Derrick Henry's done. Michael Pierce got an interception. That's the highlight of the season, bro. No way Michael Pierce just got a pick. Dog, nah. Michael Pierce got an interception. Alright. What was Bailey Zappi doing? How did Michael Pierce get an interception? Let me take a look at this. He plays back and just reads them. Oh my God. I've never seen a D lineman just pick. Bro, I don't know the last time I remember a D lineman picking off a quarterback in a situation like this. The last time, okay, there's been several times. There's been several times where a D lineman picks up. Why is a D lineman in coverage? I don't know why Michael Pierce goes back into coverage. That shocks me. Also, Josh Johnson's in the game. But I'm shocked. Congrats on winning the AFC. No, I appreciate that, Houston. Appreciate that. The last time I remember seeing a highlight play where a D lineman just flat out pick, not a situation where the ball gets tipped, but a D lineman just straight up picks off a quarterback. Last time I saw that was in the Super Bowl. I don't remember what D lineman did. It was the Super Bowl 50 between the Broncos and the Panthers. A D lineman picked off Peyton Manning and nearly took it for a pick six. So that's the last time I actively remember a D lineman just flat out picking off. Not a situation where the ball gets batted in the air and he picks it off, or he gets tipped somehow and it just comes to him. He just flat out picked him off. He backed up into coverage, read Zappi, and just picked him off. I don't remember. I haven't seen that since Super Bowl 50. Cam Hayward back in 2020 got a pick in the red zone. I don't remember the play. Maybe he did, but I don't remember the play. What game was that? What game was that? Legitimately, what game was that? I legit, like, I don't remember seeing a D line. Like, what I'm talking about was a D lineman in the Super Bowl backing up into coverage and pick against the Giants. B.J. Raji pick six. Wasn't that also? But that was with Green Bay. And that was like 2013, 2012, 13. Wasn't that 2012, 2013? Where B.J. Raji had a pick six? That was before Super Bowl 50. That was like 2013, 20. Let me see, because you went way back to talk about B.J. Raji. You're talking about a decade ago.
But you rely on it every day. You can't see the nearly 2.5 million connected businesses, but they fuel growth. And you can't see
You're talking about the 20. I knew it was the 2010 NFC Championship game where B.J. Raji had a pick six on Jay Cutler. Or was it Jay Cutler? Because this is the fourth. No, it wasn't Jay Cutler. It was, I don't know who the hell the backup quarterback was. Cutler got hurt, was on a bicycle, and didn't play. So yeah, B.J. Raji got a pick six in the NFC title game in 2010. That's what you're talking about. The Super Bowl was in 2015. Super Bowl 50 was 2015. So yeah, the 2010 NFC Championship. But yeah, the last time I remember seeing it was Super Bowl 50. But yeah, B.J. Raji was another time where we just saw a D lineman just flat out pick off a quarterback. Anyway, Baltimore wins the AFC North. They're going to clinch the 3 seed. Lamar didn't have the greatest of games, honestly. This is actually one of the few games where his passer rating is below 100. And he completed 50% of his passes because everybody wanted to drop passes. But he had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's going to finish the season with 41 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. Nobody in the history of this game has passed for 40-plus touchdowns and have thrown for fewer than 5 interceptions. So Lamar has made his case, I guess. However you want to look at it, I don't care. I'm ready for the postseason. Give the MVP to who you want. I don't care about the MVP. We're trying to win a ring here. So they're going to run the ball here with Keaton Mitchell. Just give him some chances to get some reps. Myles Garrett, man. Myles Garrett, it's time. It's time. You already talked about it. Go have a conversation with this organization and let them know what you're looking for. Hear what they're planning, because you already said you don't want to be a part of a rebuild. If they don't have any plans to get this team back into contention, buddy, it's time to pack up and leave. You've done all you can in Cleveland. But if they don't have a plan to compete, if they don't have a clear plan, you better get ready and just head on out and just leave. Who do you think will be the next Bears head coach? I don't know. A lot of people have said Ben Johnson could be a huge candidate. I've already seen people try to say Cliff Kingsbury, he could be a candidate. And Cliff's talked about potentially wanting to be a head coach, but he's focused right now on doing what he has to do. So maybe Cliff decides, hey, you know what? I do want to go out there and be a head coach. But again, I would sit back and say, please don't leave Washington. Maybe you want to stick around with Jaden Daniels, but it's not my choice. It's not my choice. So yeah, the two I've heard is Cliff Kingsbury and Ben Johnson. Charlie Kolar's got this little cast on his hand. Maybe Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's not going anywhere. Stop with your delusion. Guys, we got to realize this. Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh aren't getting fired. That's never going to happen. Okay? At the end of the day, what they've done, they have somewhat of a Hall of Fame case as coaches. Their tenure, the experience, the fact that they've won a championship as a coach, both of them are probably going to end up being a Hall of Fame coach, however you feel about it. They're not firing a coach like that. John Harbaugh is going to be here as long as he wants to continue to coach. Mike Tomlin is going to remain in Pittsburgh as long as he wants to continue to coach. That's just how it's going to be. And the sooner you guys accept it, the better. Oh, so close to putting them at the one. Congrats, my brother. I'll be here whenever you decide to stream again. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. As of right now, it's up in the air, 50-50. I don't know if I'm going to be here for the wild card or not. 50-50.
Not many people care that much about what you do in the regular season anymore.
I said I'm going to keep it a bean. I'm going to be as honest as I can be. 50-50, man. 50-50 that I'm going to be here next week for the wild card round. 50-50. And Lamar wants a championship. Well, he's going to have another chance to go win a championship, but it starts with how you guys play in the playoffs. The pressure's on you, 8. Good news is you got 22 right next to you. Utilize them. So the Ravens win the AFC North, and they will be the number 3 seed in the playoffs. Back-to-back AFC North champions. Who would you rather play, Steelers or Chargers? I don't care. I don't care who we play. We match up well against the Steelers. We match up well against the Chargers. If you do what you did against the Chargers, you're going to win. If you do what you did against the Steelers when they came to Baltimore, you're going to win. I don't care about either one of these. We could play either or. I don't have a preference. I believe we could beat either one of those teams because we've done that this year. If you stick to what you've done, the formula is there to win. I might have to make a video for this. The formula is there to win. If you stick to the formula, you will win. No matter who you go up against. So, Baltimore wins the AFC North. That's going to wrap things up here. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, I appreciate you stopping by. Baltimore wins 35-10. They win the AFC North. Next stop, the postseason. Can they get over the hump? That will be the question everybody in Baltimore will be asking for the next 7 days. Because we're probably going to play on Saturday for the wild card round. They never can put us on Sundays. We'll probably be one of the first 2 games. Well, we'll probably be the first game, chances are. We'll be in the wild card round. So just be ready for the playoff game next year. Next week. Be ready for the playoff game next week. We got things to discuss this week. Can this team get over the hump? It's going to start. Will it be the Chargers coming to Baltimore, or will it be the Steelers? We're going to find out. Pittsburgh wins this game tonight against Cincinnati. They're going to Houston. Chargers are coming to Baltimore. Pittsburgh loses. Pittsburgh's most likely coming to Baltimore. We're going to find out tonight. So we'll see. But anyway, guys, I'm going to cut it here because I will have to get ready to watch the Steelers and Bengals game. I'm going to live stream that for the most part because I got time today. So, yeah, appreciate you guys. I would say stick around for like 20 minutes while I get ready to, stream the Steelers Bengals game. Actually, I'm not even going to say 20 minutes. I'll say probably about 15. Hopefully it doesn't go longer than that, but I'll say 15 for now. But Baltimore got the win. They win the AFC North. Good on them. We expected them to win. I just didn't like some of the things I had seen today. I felt like there were aspects that they were really playing with fire. And if they don't fix these issues, it's going to cost them in the playoffs. We got plenty of time to talk about that this week, so we'll discuss it. But anyway, guys, that is it for me. I'll see you guys when we stream Bengals Steelers.